good morning, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for choosing to start your day with us. It's a privilege and it's not lost on us. My name is Graham Richards.
And I'm Zoe Brown. And yes, you're in for a treat this Tuesday morning with, with that comes also a whole lot on our health. Today is all about looking after ourselves. And we're going to bring you awareness to our eye health with optometrist Tian Masson, who is also happens to be Mr. South Africa's top 10 finalist. I think, G-Man, we, out of the two, I think are the blindest on stage.
We are. I don't even know what you're saying, man. I'm looking at the words and I just have no idea. No, we are here for that, and there might be some warning signs that you do need to pick up on. So Ocular Health in our health chat today. And then, of course, we broke the news a couple of days ago of the incredible Jean-Marc Johannes, one of our favorites, a skateboarder who just happens to be a world record holder as well. Yes, Guinness have made it absolutely official, and we're going to have him live in studio to probably do a little bit of skateboarding as he does. Hopefully no one will break any ankles, and he might be able to teach Raul how to ollie. If the guy who has done the most ollies in the world in an amount of time, yeah, I'm sure he can teach us as well.
That is incredible. Now, yesterday we spoke about summer bodies. We did a workout. Well, the quest continues, so join us for a free salsa dance class with founder of Salsa Cape Town, Mark Giot, as we learn the steps of this sexy dance.
Yeah, man.
I think it will come naturally to you.
Thank you for saying that, Zoe. Thank you so much for saying that. Yes, I will ride that wave, that dance wave, for as long as I can. Then, of course, we've been treated to some incredible sound checks already. Entertaining us this morning is opera singer and wonderful human being, Lana English. And she's brought some amazing friends who have been showing off all morning with their musical prowess. They are going to blow your mind. It's opera on a different level with an incredible playlist.
We are in for a treat between now and 9 o'clock. But let's say good morning to our other partner in crime. Good morning, Raul.
You're so beautiful, man.
Ah, stop it. I like it. Good morning, you beautiful souls. Well done on making a great decision and choosing to spend your morning with us. And as you heard, you were all hyped up for our special guest this morning, especially Jean, that has completed so many records representing our country, flying our flag high. And that's why we're asking you today to fill in the blanks. I don't know if you can see our good morning post, but it says, if I ever broke a Guinness World Record, it would probably be for... Dum, dum, dum. What would it be for? Let us know, Mzansi. Go wild, go crazy with this one. I think if I was to think about something on the spot, I want to become the fastest man in nature. Yeah, that's my new title I'm going to try and claim. So maybe, guys, you can come through and let us know what your crazy Guinness World Record stunt will be. Anything crazy works. Come through. Let's have fun with this one. And speaking of, let's just have fun for the entire show. Before we do, though, official duties must commence. And Zoe's standing by with the latest.
Thank you, Raul. Let's start off with national headlines. South Africa has expressed grave concern over the recent devastating escalation in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Pretoria has joined the international community in demanding an immediate end to the violence and the initiation of credible peace process. A statement said, and I quote, "Violence, assassinations, detentions, forced displacement, illegal settlements, and the ongoing siege of Gaza cannot help resolve the conflict." It added, and I quote, "Urgent attention should be given to resolving the final status issues such as borders, the status of Jerusalem, the release of political prisoners, and the right of return." End of quote. Staying with our local news, the Minister of Electricity, Jacinto Ramakopa, says planned maintenance work has resulted in better power systems and less load shedding. Ramakopa says the power supplier takes advantage of the lower demand for electricity to complete scheduled maintenance work faster. He says the completed maintenance work has also contributed to an additional 2,200 megawatts available in the network. Ramakopa says the benefits of this planned maintenance will become clearer over time. Moving to news beyond our own borders, Liberia, Africa's oldest republic, will today vote in a poll as current president George Weah seeks a second six-year term. 46 political parties and 20 presidential candidates will compete for some 2 million registered votes at 5,000 polling stations in 15 countries. There are 15 seats in the Senate and 76 seats in the House of Representatives up for grabs. This will be the country's fourth post-war presidential election, but the first without the presence of a UN mission which provided support to the country's Elections Commission. And staying with news abroad, this year's Nobel Prize for Economics has been awarded to Claudia Golden, an American economic historian, for her work on women's employment and pay. Prof. Golden's research uncovered key drivers behind the gender pay gap, the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences says. She's only the third woman to receive the prize and the first to not share it with male colleagues. The 77-year-old academic currently teaches labor market history at Harvard University in the US. And a woman in Darley Abbey in Derby in the UK, Donna Hibbert, is worried that she may be in trouble being called a thief. But in fact, she owns a cat that is a kleptomaniac and has repeatedly stolen various items from her neighbors. Known as cat burglar Harry, the tomcat continues his plundering ways, bringing home stolen goods such as packages of sausages, even sports bras, purses, and many pairs of shoes. Owner Donna believes Harry actually means well and thinks these items are presents. She has now posted a list of what Harry has stolen over the years on Facebook in the hopes of finding the owners. She estimates their value at some 7,000 rand. Well, listen, I'll take my neighbor's socks any day over the rats my cat brings in. But that is your headlines for now. Let's take a first look at your sport.
I'm just trying to imagine Hummy explaining the sports bra. It was the cat. It was the cat. Let's start our sports report with a little bit of rugby. Antoine Dupont's hopes of featuring in France's World Cup quarter-final against the Springboks received a significant boost as he was cleared to return to rugby training. So the team captain had undergone surgery for that broken cheekbone on the 22nd of September, and he's been gradually easing back into training, but doing it quite fast, I think, actually. And following his visit to the surgeon, the French Federation, or FFR, confirmed his authorization to resume official training today. And that final decision on his participation in Sunday's clash with the Springboks will rest with Dupont, with the match scheduled for 9 p.m. Going to go down to the wire. Now, on the rugby front, with the absence of influential flanker Pablo Matera due to a grade 3 tear in his right hamstring, it is a massive setback for Argentina ahead of their Rugby World Cup quarter-final showdown against Wales. So Matera is a definite senior and obviously a leader in that team. He suffered the injury during the Pumas' recent victory over Japan. Very physical battle, and his experience and leadership will be sorely missed as Argentina faces a formidable challenge now in their quest for World Cup success. Now let's turn to cricket, and Mitchell Satner played a scintillating innings and then delivered a 5-wicket haul to lead New Zealand to a commanding 99-run victory over the Netherlands. The 31-year-old left-hander smashing an explosive 36 not out of just 17 balls, contributing to New Zealand's formidable total of 322 for 7. We're seeing a lot of runs at the World Cup. He continued his heroics with the ball, becoming New Zealand's first spinner to claim 5 wickets in a World Cup match, restricting the Dutch to 223 all out in their 46.3 overs. So the win marks New Zealand's second consecutive victory after their emphatic 9-wicket win against defending champions England in Ahmedabad. Now we turn to football, and Saudi Arabia has taken a significant step towards its bid to host the 2034 FIFA World Cup by submitting a formal letter of intent to FIFA. That's where it begins. Yasser Al-Misahal, the president of the Saudi Arabian Football Federation, expressed the nation's commitment to making their World Cup hosting dream a reality and fostering a global unity through football. FIFA recently awarded the hosting rights for the 2030 World Cup to Morocco, Spain and Portugal, with Uruguay, Argentina and Paraguay hosting the opening matches to commemorate the tournament's centenary. We are here for those kind of moments in history, and we're also here to experience better weather. Let's hope the weather is shaping up on your side of the world. Let's get the latest from Ryle, and then we'll progress with some traffic later in the morning.
Yeah, thank you so much, She-Man. It's time to dive into our weather news this morning, and the SA Weather Service has issued 2 yellow level 2 warnings for today. Now, disruptive rain leading to localized flooding is expected along the coast between Port Alfred and Port Edward in the Eastern Cape. Now, the other yellow 2 warning is for severe thunderstorms with possible strong damaging winds and large amounts of small hail over the eastern parts of the Free State and the central and southeastern parts of Northwest. Now, meanwhile, the Western Cape government says 33 roads are still closed following the recent flooding in the province. And Premier Alan Windey says they're trying to repair the roads as quickly as possible. Now, this including the N2 at Botrevier, on which work has already started on the Franschhoek Pass. Well, for now, though, we've dived into our weather news, but let's see what you can expect for your temperatures for the day. Well, some rain on the coastline, but for the most parts, it looks like the country's heating up and right on time for the season. But let's see exactly what that might look like on your side of town. And I'm talking about those sunrise views. Yes, let's get excited because Mark Bosman starts us off today from George, sharing a morning view of the airy cotton candy-like filled sky. And this one is just stunning. You can see how the sun just wants to break through the clouds in this one. I absolutely love it. Mark, thank you for sending that through. We got Rosalind from Durbanville coming through next, sent in her image of the bright sun. And it's sun shedding light on the horizon from within her backyard. I mean, what a beautiful, bold shot indeed. Cordell's up next from Gauteng, capturing a wonderful display of orange tones cascaded across the sky. This one's beautiful. They managed to get some birds in there as well. Great moment that you've captured there. Absolutely love it, Cordell. And then Alison from Pietermaritzburg shared her morning view of the partly cloudy sky and bare branches. Now, this whilst on an early morning stroll. Yes, please, Alison. Getting the day started. That's how you win and earning some incredible views. We'll do it again on the number 063-408-8863. Keep sending these incredible shots in. We'd love to see it. But for now, though, let's see who else we'd love to see in studio. Superstar.
Quite a few superstars, Raul. Well, you know what? This is our first break for the morning. When we return, Tian Massane is here. He's an optometrist as well as a Mr. South Africa finalist. We are talking eye care and eye health since it is Eye Awareness Week. And then we also have the superstar, Jean-Marc Johannes, in studio, the skateboarding sensation who broke the Guinness World Record. In fact, 2 of them. And he's joining us in studio to give Raul a bit of a demo. So that and a whole lot more still on its way.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining a very healthy conversation, hopefully for you this morning. Now, something I think many of us take for granted is our eyesight. Well, maybe not Zoe and I particularly. It's currently Eye Care Awareness Month, which is very important. It's vital that we know what eye care health actually is and how to look after our eyes. We only get 2 of them. The focus of Eye Care Awareness Month is to raise awareness about the prevention and treatment of avoidable blindness. And joining us is optometrist and Mr. SA 2023 Top 10 finalist, Tian Massay. Tian, welcome. Thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
I love it when there are awareness weeks and awareness months, and eye care being one of them. As an optometrist, what do you hope people will learn from this month of awareness?
Yeah, so we're using this month, it's an opportunity for us to really talk about the things that we take for granted.
Yeah.
So it's important to uplift the patients and to make them realize that it's very important to do your routinely eye checks and to make sure that you get to your optometrist and not regret stuff that we don't take, that we take for granted every day.
Completely. I mean, we can joke and crack jokes about, you know, the debacle around the Springbok jersey, but in a weird way, it's got a lot of people thinking about exactly that, something that we deal with every day, that you only notice something is wrong retrospectively, which means we should be doing annual checks at least. Why is that so important?
Well, I think obviously as optometrists we make patients see better, but I think it goes further than that. We look at the full comprehensive eye health. We have fundus cameras in the practice where we have a look at the back of the eye and we look at your blood vessels. We check your pressures. And we use that to also look at the optic nerve at the back of the eye. So it's a very comprehensive eye test, and we can, if we see diseases and we see stuff that we can really do something about it, or I can refer you to an eye specialist, we can really help prevent diseases that can be sight-threatening.
Okay, and I think that's something we often take for granted. It's only until you get something in your eye or there's a bit of an infection that you actually realize, hang on, I'm taking my eyesight for granted. When it comes to, you know, when people wear contact lenses or glasses, the first thing they say, oh, I'm nearsighted, or oh, I'm farsighted, and half the time I don't know what they are referring to. Please just unpack the two different sights
It's like AC
for us.
and DC, yeah?
Yeah, so, well, farsighted and nearsighted, we also call it the fancy word is myopia and hyperopia. So some patients, which are minus prescriptions, those patients can't see far. And then most patients over the age of 40, we call it presbyopia, as the patients would usually say their arms are getting too short. So then you know you've hit your 40s. And unfortunately, it's something that we can't run from. So over the age of 40, we have to help the patients to read close. Unfortunately, there's a muscle in the eye that's attached to a lens. You can just imagine these muscles have been pulling on these lenses 10 million times a day for 40 years.
And then when we talk about frame rates in TV, your eyes literally having to adjust every time there's a new frame on TV. Your poor little eyes, okay, I got it. It's
yes,
hectic.
exactly. And that obviously that lens also loses its elasticity. So it doesn't work as you were 21 years old. So we use lenses to help patients actually see. But to get back to your question, yeah, plus patients' prescription usually struggle more with close, and your minus patients struggle with distance.
I'm a minus patient.
Yeah,
Most of us are.
it's weird. I'm a little bit of both because I'm over 40.
40.
But yeah, man, you see, I'm beginning to understand the algorithm. The joy is on that side of the equation, there is a lot of help at hand, and you guys are quite empowered in terms of how you can improve a person's eyesight. I think where most of us get terrified is the notion of eye disease and losing our sight. When do the symptoms that we've seen listed there, the stuff that you're looking out for, when does a red flag suddenly jump off the page?
Well, I think one of the biggest red flags is obviously patients coming into the practice and noticing that they have sudden vision loss. I think anything that's sudden, we have to look into very, very, very deeply. And then also, obviously, family histories of patients that know there's diabetes in the family, a grandpa, a father.
Sure.
So obviously, with the fundus cameras and the retinal images, we have a look at the blood vessels. And we make sure that there's no bleeding of blood vessels at the back of the eye, which is diabetes. And obviously also patients, with the normal aging process, the lens, as I said, gets thicker, which if it gets thick enough, it causes cataracts. And then patients obviously can't see. Especially, usually you see that more at night. So elderly patients would say that they really struggle to see at night. And yeah, so we do a comprehensive full test where we check those pressures and we look inside the eyes. We have a slit lamp in the practice where we look at your lens just to make sure that everything is healthy. And if it's necessary...
Really comprehensive, yeah.
Yes, if it's really necessary, we refer to an eye specialist. I always say rather safe than sorry.
Oh,
Yes,
completely.
especially if
Certainly
it
with the
comes,
eyes,
yeah, especially with the eyes. Now, you're also a finalist for Mr. South Africa this year. Can you tell me, how does it feel knowing that as an optometrist, you can also use that platform to be able to do good?
Yeah, I think it's an amazing platform that I can use. It's always been a big part of my heart, actually, do the charities out of the practices. And to have Mr. South Africa platform to do this, what I've loved to do on such a bigger scale, it's great. So I think the focus should be the youth. I think children don't always speak, and
they don't have the words.
I think their eyesight and their problems are overlooked. So in practice, what we do is we test all children from the age to 6 to 12, we test for free. To make sure that we don't miss stuff when they grow up, where education can be a problem and where they cannot reach their full potential.
I love that. Empowerment, man.
And the thing with like someone like myself who only in university realized, hang on, my eyesight's not great, you don't know what you don't know. And the thing is, like, I thought everything was normal. Walking down Victoria Street in Stellenbosch and I see the greenery. It was only when I got my glasses that I saw the leaves and I started to cry because I was like, I've missed out on so much.
I was like, what players have numbers on their backs? Really? Is that honestly? So every football player wears his number on his back this whole time. No, I get you. And there is often a moment where we have to rely on our studio crew to bring a TV a little bit closer or something like that. We are here for Ocular Health. So don't wait until you're staring at the Springboks jersey trying to figure out, is it mint green? Is it normal green? Is it green at all? Is it turquoise? Don't wait till then to get your eyes tested. Think about doing it today. At least once a year, we need to have that annual checkup. But we're not going to let you go anywhere. We need to explore this Mr. SA thing just a little bit more. And yes, our eye health continues. But right now, we've got a multiple world record holder in the house.
Multiple world record holder. That's what's up. Get ready to meet the remarkable Jean-Marc. He's South Africa's skateboarding sensation who has defied limits and clinched international recognition. And that's with a slew of Guinness World Records and podium finishes. Now, Jean-Marc's story is one of passion, perseverance, and skateboarding excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for a Guinness World Record holder! Yeah! Bro, you're an absolute legend, man. How you doing?
I'm good, thanking yourself.
I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm proud, I'm all these emotions bundled up, especially seeing you right now. Dude, talk to me about this journey. For people that have been living under a rock, that have no idea what you do, you're a skateboarding sensation, you fly our flag high, but you've just completed 2 Guinness World Records on the same day.
Yes.
And it's huge. Talk to me about the records. What are they and how did this journey even start, man? How did you get to this point?
Definitely. So the 2 records that I broke on the same day was the most consecutive ollies and then the most 360s in 30 seconds. So it's something that, you know, the ollie and the 360, you need to learn to ollie first and then you can start doing 360s. But, you know, obviously the journey started somewhere. So for me, it started many years ago, you know, when I saw a Guinness Book of Records for the first time in a school library. And when I picked the book up, it was something that gave me motivation. It was filled with things that seemed impossible, but it was also filled with things that made me believe that I could do something. So thankfully, I can, you know, come back to that story today, definitely.
I feel like the moment you opened that book when you were a youngster, that was the start of your materialization. And look at you now.
Definitely.
Inside of this cover right here. And we'll get to that article. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. But I want to talk about not only the fact that you're pushing skateboarding, and not only in our country, but you're getting notable recognition for it. Not just in the community, right? Like we were speaking about earlier.
Yes.
But from credible sources. I believe you were awarded the African Youth Sports Athlete of the Year award.
Yes, I
This
was.
is huge, bro. This
Thank
is
you.
a testament to the hard work and sacrifice you're putting in. But it means a little bit more than that, right?
Definitely, definitely. I mean, it's something that I think, you know, everybody wants and, you know, in something that you dream of. But you're not really sure when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. But I think for me, personally, it's something that I've always kept in my mind, but always made sure that, you know, it always comes down to why I started, you know, and obviously working hard, having passion for what I do, and just keeping the motivation. And when I obviously received it, it was something that made me realize that there is a turning point in my career. There is a turning point in, I would say, skateboarding because of, you know, recognition that one can get now as opposed to, you know, a few years ago. It's happened so fast. And I think it's great. I think it's good for the sport. And obviously, I'm grateful for the opportunity.
It is indeed. And I know that there's a definite mantra where you believed it, but getting that external validation
Definitely.
gives you that extra credibility, gives you a reason to say the sacrifice, all this hard work I put into these records was worth it, right? Now,
Definitely.
I know maybe people don't even know what these records are about, so let's talk about exactly what you achieved in these 2 records.
Yes.
Talk numbers for me, man, because this is a huge
Sure.
feat. So the first record, yeah?
The first record was the most 360s
Yeah.
or spins in 30 seconds.
How many
and
did you do?
I did 7 in 30 seconds.
Ooh.
And I actually realized the more I was practicing it, the more difficult it was becoming. So it was something that I should just, get my head into and make it happen.
Yeah.
Because of the amount you're spinning. And the next record was the most consecutive ollies. And that was, the previous record was 312. And I originally broke it for 326. And then it was established as 323. So that is the current record.
It's insane. I was trying to maybe even just attempt 1 today. I don't think you can take me through that, bro. But
Definitely,
listen, that is
definitely.
just testament again to, I think, the perseverance and also being able to deal under pressure, that BMT, which is also important. Something that I think you're going to need for these next goals, because what's next sounds like a big journey ahead of you.
Yes.
You've got Paris 2024, that's the Olympics, right?
Yes.
But before we even get there, there's a big challenge ahead. What is that?
Definitely. So I'm going to start very early next year with the World Series and hopefully compete in the entire circuit. Before, like this year, for example, I competed in the FIS Montpellier and thankfully brought home a medal from that contest in France. Last year, it was in La Clusaz and brought home another medal. So hopefully I can complete the entire series. And obviously, bringing home a medal from each contest is something you essentially want to do. But I'm just going to take it one competition at a time. And obviously, leading up to Paris 2024, there's a lot that still needs to take place in South Africa before that event. So I'm definitely got my head in the game for that series. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And listen, I know that this trip and this tour is self-funded as well. So
Yes, it
maybe
is.
a reach out to you, Mzansi, if you are able to assist this man in helping him
Thank
fly
you.
our flag high and get him prepared for the big day, which is obviously the Paris Olympics. We want to get him on that world circuit. We want to get him the experience he needs so he can claim that podium spot. So come through on his socials and maybe assist him. Obviously, I want to talk to you all about your fitness routine and that, but I
Yes.
know we're going to go through a little demo a little bit later. So we'll
Yes,
chat
we
about
are.
fitness, how you actually got your body in the condition that it was to break these records. And if you can teach someone like me and Ollie, then whoa, you are
Definitely.
someone special indeed. Hopefully we can see that happening right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Mzansi. Don't go anywhere. This man's going to show us exactly what his magic is all about.
Yeah, magic abounds on the show today. We love the sound of the Hero Gala Concert, and we'll introduce you to that concept and some of the amazing performers there. And speaking of which, Lana English is here to perform, and she's brought some friends, Victor and Jeremy, ready to blow us away. These are some musical geniuses, and they're just amazing human beings. Cannot wait to connect with them properly and connect you to them on the other side of this.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to a Health Tuesday on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. A little bit earlier, we chatted about Eye Care Awareness Month and why it is so important to understand one's eye health and the prevention of avoidable blindness. It's that easy. Just connect with your optometrist, and that's what we've done. He also happens to be a Mr. SA Top 23 or Top 10 2023 finalist as well. Tian Massain, and a great now friend of the show as well. And he's going to take us through some of the different preventable eye diseases and then demonstrate on our Zozo some tests to see just how bad her eyes really are. No, she's got her contacts in, which I shouldn't have told anyone, just for your
Fine,
sake.
I can share my -3 vision.
Yeah, exactly. No, we all have to compensate. That's how we roll on this set. Tian, thank you so much for sticking around. I love the little bag of tricks that you brought with us. I just want to, we touched on it, myopia. That is minus, yeah? Short-sightedness.
Short-sightedness,
which is what Zoe is. So how do we go about, first of all, ascertaining that a person is, in fact, short-sighted?
Yeah, so we do a full comprehensive eye test, and with the autorefractor, when we test, we go to a phoropter to the testing room, and we do a full test. So we see what the patient's prescription is of their eyes, either plus, minus, and then astigmatism, which we'll touch on a bit later. It's funny that she's a minus prescription, because I actually want to show how a patient will see that is a minus prescription, because a -3 prescription is quite strong.
It is. I'm blind.
Yeah, so when we stand here, everything here would be blurred. But a minor prescription, we correct with minus lenses. And so here I have a full trial case, and I have a trial frame. So we have many lenses in my trial case with millions of configurations, which I configure and then put a minus prescription in the
really
trial
can
frame.
become so nuanced with how much you aid a person or balance that back out. That's brilliant.
I have a question, because whenever I go to the optometrist, they ask me which one's better, A or B, 1 or 2. I always feel like you're trying tricking me. Is that the case? Or
Do you learn how to be
like, it's like, I always feel like I'm there for an honesty test. Like, which is it, A or B? And I'm like, oh, Gona, it looks the same.
No, I think they're aware people try and cheat.
Well, you can't cheat us. We know all the tricks in the book. And basically, I always say this, it's actually a joke, but I actually know exactly what to do. I'm just keeping you busy for 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
You're getting your money's worth.
It's as simple as that. I'm just got to justify the fee at the end. Okay, so how do we begin the mix and match process?
Yeah, so obviously after I've done the full eye test, I put the prescription in my trial frame. In her case, you have your contact lenses on.
I do have my contact lenses on.
Definitely, but okay, so when I've tested the patient's eyes, then I will come back to my trial case. In her case, which is a -3, do you have astigmatism? Do you know?
I have an astigmatism in my right eye.
Okay, great. So astigmatism, for some patients who don't know, the clients who don't know, it's basically just the shape of the eye being a bit more rugby ball than soccer ball.
Okay, so that changes the way the lens works, then obviously the
Definitely.
way that light is drawn in.
Because one of my goals a few years ago was to have my eyes lasered, and I saved up for it, and then the optometrist was like, you can't have your eyes lasered because of your astigmatism. Is that true? People that have astigmatisms, surgery won't correct it?
It's
Definitely,
not always an
to
option.
a degree, yes, definitely. But I mean, a patient that's a -3, -4 patient, that's the perfect patient for LASIK surgery.
Okay.
We just need to make sure in practice that the prescription is stable.
Okay.
Which we don't want to do LASIK surgery and then I see you anyway in a few years I need to make you glasses.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I
Definitely.
love that.
Yeah, so in this case, so with the -3 prescription, I will just take my -3 lenses and I'll put them into the trial frame.
I love it, because you must be present for that moment when the penny drops, so people can actually see again or see
Definitely.
properly. And it's something, like you say, you don't know if you don't know, but once you do get that back, it must be quite a beautiful thing to be a part of that process with people.
Absolutely. In our final year, we go on the Pelupepa train, which is the medical train, and they send you into the very, very rural areas of South Africa. And you stand on the platform on the train, and there's just thousands of people sitting there, and they come from far. Some people sleep in front of the train to see you the next morning. And when you put that pair of glasses on those patients' eye, from 6 years old to 96 years old, and the tears just start flowing. It does something to your heart that you just know you're living your passion and your purpose, definitely.
Oh, I love that.
Right, so what I've done, usually what I do in practice, I make patients see better. Today I'm going to actually show you guys what it actually feels like to have some of the eye diseases.
Okay. Oh, cool.
And to not be able to see as clear.
Okay, so I'm dying to have that on my face.
Yeah, so this is Obviously, you have your contact lens in, so it's going to be extremely blurry. This is what you'll actually see without your glasses.
Things. Oh, wow, okay.
So I'm going to put these on for you.
I look like Gadget Girl.
Yeah. Go, go, gadget. I don't know if that's the right song.
There we go.
Nice. Hey, how does it feel to be me, Zoe? Hey? Can you distinguish my facial features?
I can see. You know, when you get a new prescription or the optometrist, like when you get a stronger prescription, is it normal to feel like the world's a little wobbly in the beginning?
Definitely. So obviously new prescription lenses we have to get used to. But in practice, what I do is I try to make that gap as small as possible.
Okay.
Obviously, I want you to see clear, but I want you to see comfortable.
Don't want to be wobbling and falling all
Exactly. I
over
don't want
the
you to
place,
be able to see up to Cape Town from Pretoria, but only for 10 minutes
and you
have a
can't
headache.
drive.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
I get that. I mean, there's so many touch points, and we're going to keep your details up so people can connect with you. 2 questions. Do you wear the sash while you practice?
I don't.
Okay, so that's the first thing. Sorry, guys, don't expect the sash. What would you recommend if we did one thing to look after our eye health now? As an optometrist who is driving this every day, what would you recommend that we do?
I think in today's life, we live in a digital age. I mean, if we're not on our computers, laptops, we're on our cell phones, tablets.
Yeah.
So obviously, what we see, especially with the kids of the new generation, I mean, the parents just give them tablets, give them eyes. Can I take that off for you?
Yes, you can.
I can imagine that. Quite horrible for you.
So you're starting to feel quite isolated.
It's going to pass out.
Yeah.
Emphasis on eye. Yeah.
Yeah, so we are really trying to get into the youth and to help them with amazing lenses, because that myopia we're talking about, that nearsightedness is increasing rapidly. So we're trying to see if we can stabilize it in the children. So we have amazing lenses that we can't always stop it. We can try and slow it down.
Yeah, and strengthen the eye muscle.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's basically what we're trying to do, yeah.
There are a lot of parents here that say you must eat your carrots. It's good for eyesight. Is that
Very
true?
good question, actually. Yeah, do carrots help your eyes? Yes or no? Yes or no? Just say yes, bro. Otherwise,
I'm going to have to say yes.
There we go.
Kids,
Done.
eat your carrots.
Eat your veggies.
And your spinach, for that matter, as well. Buddy, thank you so much. All the best of luck for this other journey. I think you're going to be able to help a lot of people if you get this gig. So I really hope that comes off for you. And thank you on behalf of everyone that you've helped so far. It really is as easy as connecting with your optometrist and then getting the right advice. A whole new world, literally a whole new world, could be waiting for you. But thank you so much, my brother.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, and we've got a world of magic waiting for you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seat belts. Hold on to your hats, because we are in for an adrenaline-pumping showcase right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We have the privilege of witnessing the awe-inspiring skateboarding prowess of Jean-Marc Johannes. Yes, that World Guinness Book of Records holder, and the man is doing so many things when it comes to the skateboarding community. He has a plethora of international accolades. He's set to redefine the art of skateboarding right before our very eyes, leaving us in sheer amazement. Brother, the bar's been set right here, okay?
Thank you so
You're
much.
coming in as a Guinness World Record holder. This is incredible stuff. It's an achievement that I think young kids have wanted all across the globe. And we didn't get a chance to do this, but let's just officially showcase this little page in the book here. I don't know if the cameras can actually zoom up on this, but there the man is in the top corner doing the absolute most. And this is absolutely huge. I think they've got a nice zoom up of that.
Definitely.
I can't hold my hands stiff enough, but well
Page
played, man.
85. There we go.
Well played. Yeah. So, brother,
Yes.
let's talk about this incredible feat. Let's talk about the tricks that you performed. And is it something that a youngster can try to do, practice at home, and maybe even be inspired enough to want to attempt their own record?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I think, going back to the basics of it, and
Okay.
obviously the first trick you learn, aside from obviously, moving around on the board, is doing an ollie.
Okay.
So that's the first trick you want to learn, because everything from that, obviously your flip tricks, spins, anything else.
Develop from the ollie.
From the ollie.
Okay.
So essentially what that is making the board lift off the ground.
All right.
So it doesn't matter if it's up here or it's down here, but essentially the board needs to lift off the ground in order for anything to happen. So
All right.
basically what that is, the only way the board lifts off the ground is if the tail connects with the ground and the board lifts like that.
Ah, okay.
So that's doing it with one foot. So what you want to do is make the board lift completely off the ground, that everything comes up like that. So
you're playing with the weight of the board. You're playing with that, like, sort of inertia and all these forces. All right.
yes.
Okay.
So basically what that is, and in a very simple way, when the tail gets to the ground like that, you need to jump and you need to drag your foot up in order for the board to lift up like that.
Wow.
So that's basically the two parts. Tail.
I love how you use the word basically so loosely. Like everything is just basic, bro.
So in the beginning, when you're starting out to do an ollie, it can be small just to get the technique right.
Yeah.
So it will look like that, small.
Oh, okay.
And then that's where the wheels lifted off the ground. So more often you'll start to do the ollie when you're moving or onto something or something like that. Then you'll obviously have to go a little bit higher with the boards like that.
So how are you getting that height? Are you hitting it into the ground harder?
Yes. So the harder I do that on the tail, the higher the board's going to come.
Okay.
And the higher you jump.
Okay.
So what happens is when you start to do grind tricks and you start to do, going down rails or ledges, sometimes the ledges can be here, it can be up here. The only way you get onto that is if you ollie high enough, tail hits the ground, and you jump onto the ledge. So that's essentially, so if the ledge was there, for example, you would need to ollie onto the ledge and keep your balance for the grind.
It's amazing how you make the board look like it's sticking to your feet, bro. That's the years of experience, clearly.
Yes.
So, let me just see that one more time because I reckon I can try and take a crack at this.
Very, very
pray my
simple.
ankles just hold up, please. But yeah, so you got the basics. You basically driving that tail into the ground.
Yes.
And then countering it with that front foot by rolling forward.
And jump.
All
so
right.
All the board needs to do is that. And down. So, over time, it will start to look like that. But right now, you just want to get the technique to do that.
Okay.
And it can be very simple, where it can be that simple.
Okay.
That's the technique.
Can I try it out?
Definitely, definitely. So I'll give you just the starting point. So what you want to do is get your back foot onto that pulse.
So I'm goofy, actually. So left foot would be back foot for me. So that's this one here, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so kind of like just above the truck there?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And like that. Now what you want to do is put your back foot on the edge of the tail.
Yeah.
Perfect. And you want to bring your front foot just behind the front bolts.
Okay, just behind the front bolts, like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Really requires a bit of balance, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel you.
now just keep your weight centered in the middle of the board.
Yeah.
Bend your knees a little bit. Perfect. So what you want to do now is that exact process that I showed you, where the tail hits the ground and you jump a little bit.
Okay. Are we doing this? We're
Yeah,
going?
we can go.
Tail it in the ground.
Yeah.
Man, there's a little bit of a hardy there. Okay. All right. That kind of makes sense, bro. So it's very much about driving that sort of tail in the back. I can notice you can get a little bit of a height here as well. So let me just try this again. I know the cameras can see this while your back's facing them, but basically, let's try this. Okay, I'm over here just in case here, bro. Just be there in case, right?
I got you.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Perfect.
Almost.
Perfect.
Almost. Okay, we got it. All right. A lot rustier, a lot harder than it looks, but man, you make it look so easy.
But that's the way it does. You do it, and basically after that, you can start, just playing around with different stances
moves,
of the board.
like,
you can go nollie, and obviously if you're riding switch, you can go fakie, and that would be like that, that way, and nollie would obviously be towards the nose that way.
So if we can, just quickly, that record that you broke, right?
Yes.
You obviously did all those ollies, but you also did the 360 front side
So yes,
spin.
yes.
Show me what that looks like, bro.
So 360s is from the basic is an ollie.
Yeah.
Obviously, you go 180. The next one will go 360. So basically, a spin would be the normal quick one. Is backside 180. And obviously, to do a full 360, you would then need to go. I'll just try to do one nollie.
Okay.
Because it's easier. So you'll be in nollie position and.
Oh,
60.
wow.
So that's a full 360.
And balancing at the same time.
Yes.
Bro, that is insane, man. Any other crazy tricks you could show for us right
So
now?
I think another trick that would be nice for someone to learn after you've done the ollie, after you've done the 180 ollies, you could try learn the pop shove it.
Okay.
I think this is always a good trick to learn because that also sets up for other variations of flip tricks. So pop shove it is very simple. It's basically your board does the 180 and you just do an ollie and the board spins under you. So it's very simple. You can basically just
brilliant
and
stuff.
all that is putting your foot in the corner and like that. And obviously with some height, you can then doing like that.
Man's making it look so easily while Jean carries on out with his tricks right now.
Yes.
A reminder to you to get inspired, get involved in this guy's journey. He's got a great international tour ahead of him. So if you want to sponsor that, then definitely reach out to his socials. And of course, clearly the man is putting all the work, graft, and hours in and flying our flag, guys. So thank you for all that incredible work you're doing.
Thank you so
Congratulations
much.
once again on your Guinness World Records that you've achieved. And Mzansi, I hope you've been inspired by this one. Grab your skateboard, get in touch with this man if you want to sponsor him on his incredible tours, and just have fun on a board. Let's just rip it up, bro. Nice
Always.
stuff.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh, you can make my day.
Winter's behind us and it's time to get busy living, or it would be if not for that unwelcome guest allergies. So show them the door with Lunchbox and Expresso's 5,000 Reasons to Love Spring competition.
This month, you stand to win cash prizes of 5,000 Rand each when you answer the weekly questions on Expresso's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages and include that hashtag Lunchbox in your answer. T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Good morning. Welcome. If you've just joined us, where you've been, you're missing the best show ever. Why? Because joining us this morning are two incredible human beings that brought some friends. So we've got Charles Gray, fundraising manager for the unbelievable Peninsula School Feeding Association. We know about them on our show and the incredible work they do. And then the wonderful Alana English, an internationally renowned opera and musical singer from Cape Town. She is here to show her musical chops, but also the size of her heart. And they are thrilled to announce that they will be hosting a Heroes Gala Concert in aid of the Peninsula School Feeding Association. And they now join us to tell us how we can get involved. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Graham.
Thank you for the most interesting sound check. To walk into a studio when your ears haven't heard anything yet for the day, to get that was magical. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Charles, thank you for doing the work you do every day, because it is a cause unlike any other. Tell us a little bit more about your amazing, I don't want to say organization, it's a movement. There is something very much bigger happening around what you're doing. Fill us in.
Well, 65 years ago, the government at the time stopped school feeding, and the Rotary Club stepped in and established the Peninsula School Feeding Association on the 10th of March, 1958.
Wow.
Our job is to make sure children receive daily meals, a daily breakfast and daily lunch. We've been, for the past 65 years, we've served over 2 billion meals to hungry school children in the Western Cape. Yep. Not only do we provide the kids with meals, Graham, we also provide every school that joins our feeding program with all the equipment that's required.
infrastructure.
We provide the ingredients, so the equipment makes, they can provide cooking gas, stoves, plates and spoons so the children can eat in dignity. We've also supplied kitchens to schools, over 131 kitchens, facilities. But we haven't been able to do this sort of work without the support of our donors, being corporates, trusts, foundations, and individuals, generous people that have helped us along the way. And also privileged schools get involved.
Yeah.
And then another very important thing is events. We have our Blisters for Bread event every year in August. And now we have this wonderful event called the Heroes Gala Concert. And we're so excited to be here to promote this event. And it's so wonderful to have Lana here today, who's actually the reason why this event's taking place on our behalf to raise
It's
funds.
all come together beautifully. I'm just thinking of all the corporates turning and running when they see you coming, Charles. They're like, oh, God, he's coming, dude, no. But you are obviously very good at what you do. I know what it takes to drum up sponsorship in that space, and it's not easy. You need the Lanas of the world to step in and add a bit of gravitas.
Yeah.
So what was the motivation for you to get involved? I know it's on paper, we can all understand, but this speaks to a deeper emotional connection. What's that for you?
So for me, Graham, I was not fortunate to have kids in my life. And I should say thank you to the
It all balances out in the great equation of life.
So I was not fortunate, but with what I do, I can do something for kids. And previously, years ago, we used to do Toys for Joy, a gift of song, where with our voices, we could raise money and Christmas time buy tons of gifts. ShopRite used to have a line that went on forever of trolleys of gifts that we could give. And since I'm back in Cape Town, because I've been working overseas, and since I'm back in Cape Town, I decided, I need to start doing this again. And then I met up with Charles, myself and Nawal, Hawa, who's my manager. And we met with Charles and said, can we do something for you? We'd like to do a performance or anything just to make awareness, raise awareness, and to raise funds. And we came up 2 months ago, we came up with this idea. And the name Heroes came because not only for the people that, for the heroes like Charles, that run the organization.
Do this every day, unrequited,
Yeah, but all those volunteers behind the scenes, the extraordinary individuals who we don't get to see, you don't see, puts in the work to feed these kids.
And they do it without a need for validation. They do it without a need for financial enrichment. There are so many points. I've got to ask, Lana, when you do something like this, because your kind of music is a different kind of performance. I don't know what you have to plug into to summon that kind of level of performance. There's a lot of emotion. When you're performing that kind of music in this setting, with this kind of emotional backing, how wonderful do you think this is going to be when you know why you are singing and doing what you're doing with your friends as well?
Yes. Now, there's so much. Our singing is about emotion. It's about heart. And I was always told, when you sing from your heart, it will go to hearts. And I can say that for every performer that's joined me. For instance, the orchestra that will be joining us. It's a community-based orchestra. Those people train and take young people off the streets, teach them a musical instrument.
Change lives.
And the Masikule Community Orchestra now, they sit next to their mentor and they play and they have the opportunity to play in this beautiful setting. I have a young man, Mu'ain Daniels, who will be joining us. He's physically disabled from the neck down. His dream was to sing on a stage, and he's recorded 2 singles.
Wow.
I invited him. His dream is to perform and do his song, You Don't Need Wings to Fly. I get goosebumps when I think about it.
I should have prefixed this whole thing. We're a cry risk. As a show, we're all a bit of a cry risk here, most of us, especially me. Yeah.
Everybody that is part of the show has put in and will put in what they can.
And that's what we will get
to do what we do for these people.
I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to hear this emotion and energy reflected in the songs that you're going to see performed this morning. Charles, thank you so much for the work that you're doing. At Heroes Gala Concert is the handle to follow. We're going to keep all of the details up on how you can connect, as I said, with this movement that is shaping the lives, that's helping young people understand, yes, that we need food in the bellies, that's one element, but they understand how important they are because people take the time to make them feel that way and do something truly special, and you'll get a taste of that live here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show in just a moment. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Graham.
Thank you, G-Man. Well, let's take a moment to acknowledge the pillars of our communities and the unsung heroes who stand strong behind the scenes. Those are our pharmacists. Now, this is proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, the sponsors of Brave. And let's take a look at this week's Pharmacy of the Week, Weber Road Pharmacy in Germiston.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
Serving the community is important because these are the people that we live with on our daily basis. These are the people that we struggle with. These are the people that support us. These are the people that are there for us. These are the people that we are here for when they need our assistance, when they're sick, when they're not feeling well. They come to us, and then it's our responsibility as frontline workers to assist them, to make sure that they're healthy, so that tomorrow they can look back into us and say, those are the people that can help us without even needing anything back from us. I am part of the community because I don't live far from here. I'm actually about 10 km from Germiston. So these are the people, I would say, these are my family. We make sure we put the best prices for our community, and we also prioritize the community, which is why we always tell our staff that Batupile, people first, before us.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave. Inspiring communities, one pharmacy at a time.
We've been long in the game, healing South Africa one allergy at a time. All the sneezing, runny nose, itching of nose and throat, we've left no stone unturned. Until finally, South Africa recognized us. You've given us the courage to continue to do what we do best. Live, work, play, sleep allergy-free with Allergex Non-Drowsy. Ask your pharmacist for the full allergy range. Brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
I love this, that we get to honor our pharmacists, and we just want to say thank you to all of our pharmacists for making a difference in their communities. We absolutely appreciate you. Well, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back at your Feel Good Breakfast Show. What an incredible lineup we have for you. Standing by right now with voices like angels and keys like no other. We've got Lana English and Jeremy Quickfall standing by to perform for us and showcase their magic. But before we get into that, of course, official duties must commence. And Zoe's standing by with the latest.
Thank you, Raul. Well, let's look at your national headlines. The Constitutional Court has clarified that jailed Paralympian Oscar Pistorius was eligible for parole consideration in March. This after Pistorius recently turned to the Apex Court to correct interpretation of his parole eligibility. It found that he had already passed the halfway mark on the 21st of March this year. Pistorius was sentenced to 6 years in 2016, but that sentence was increased to 13 years and 5 months in 2017. The confusion stems from the fact that Pistorius' time in prison has been interrupted by appeals and a period of house arrest. And staying with local news, South Africa has expressed grave concern over the recent devastating escalation in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Pretoria has joined the international community in demanding an immediate end to the violence and the initiation of a credible peace process. A statement said, and I quote, "Violence, assassinations, detentions, forced displacement, illegal settlements, and the ongoing siege of Gaza cannot help resolve the conflict." It added, and I quote, "Urgent attention should be given to resolving the final status issues such as borders, the status of Jerusalem, the release of political prisoners, and the right of return." And moving to news abroad, the Hamas-Israeli clashes have led to massive flight cancellations at Ben Gurion International Airport in Tel Aviv, now supplying shelters for passengers. Tel Aviv is the most populous city in Israel. Hamas announced military operations against Israel on Saturday, with thousands of rocket shells fired at Israel and skirmishes with Israeli troops. In response, Israel carried out multiple airstrikes on the Gaza Strip. Some 700 Israelis have been killed and about 2,000 wounded. The Palestinian Health Department says Israel's airstrikes have killed 413 Palestinians, including 78 children and 41 women, and injured some 2,300 others. And Liberia, Africa's oldest republic, will today vote in a poll as current President George Weah seeks a second 6-year term. 46 political parties and 20 presidential candidates will compete for some 2 million registered votes at 5,000 polling stations in 15 countries. There are 15 seats in the Senate and 73 seats in the House of Representatives up for grabs. This will be the country's 4th post-war presidential election, but the first without the presence of a UN mission, which provided support to the country's Elections Commission. And TV critics have broadly welcomed the reboot of the sitcom Frasier. Kelsey Grammer returns in the new version, which also stars Only Fools and Horses actor Nicholas Lyndhurst. The original Frasier, which was a spin-off from the sitcom Cheers, ran for 11 seasons in the US from 1993 to 2004, winning 37 Emmys. The new series sees Frasier back in Boston, Massachusetts in the US, where Cheers was set after a 15-year stint as a TV shrink in Chicago. He has moved to be closer to his now grown-up son, Frederick, who dropped out of Harvard University to become a firefighter. And oh yes, it turns out that Frasier's many devotees are known, hilariously, as craniacs. Rest assured, Frasier is back in the building. Well, on that note, that's where I leave your headlines. Let's take another look at your sport.
Thank you so much. So let's start with a story that should strike fear into every South African's heart. Antoine Dupont's hopes of featuring in France's World Cup quarterfinals against the Springboks received a significant boost as he was cleared free and fit to return to rugby training properly now. So the team captain had undergone that surgery for a broken cheekbone on the 22nd of last month and have been gradually easing back into training. That's intensified. And following his visit to the surgeon, the French Federation, or the FFR, has now confirmed his authorization to resume training immediately. That final decision on his participation in Sunday's clash with the Boks will rest with Dupont. With the match scheduled for 9 p.m, I reckon we'll probably see him out there. Now let's stay with the Rugby World Cup news. continues in the absence of influential flanker Pablo Matera due to a grade 3 tear in his right hamstring is a massive setback for Argentina, obviously, ahead of their Rugby World Cup quarter-final showdown against Wales, who have found some form at this stage of the tournament. Matera, a senior leader, suffered that injury during the Pumas' recent very physical victory over Japan, and his experience and leadership will be sorely missed as Argentina faces a formidable challenge now in their quest for World Cup success, or at least to go beyond where they've ever gone before. Now let's turn to cricket and the other World Cup. And Mitchell Satner was the man of the moment. He played a scintillating innings and then delivered a 5-wicket haul to lead New Zealand to a commanding 99-run victory over the Netherlands. The 31-year-old left-hander smashing an explosive 36 of just 17 balls, contributing to New Zealand's formidable total of 322 for 7. Then he continues his heroics with the ball, becoming the first New Zealand spinner to claim 5 wickets in a World Cup match, resulting in the Dutch being restricted 223 all out in just over 46 overs. So the win marks New Zealand's second consecutive victory after the emphatic 9-wicket win against defending champions England in Ahmedabad. And then we turn to football, and Saudi Arabia has taken a significant step towards its bid to host the 2034 FIFA World Cup by now submitting a formal letter of intent to FIFA. That's where it begins. Yasser Al-Misrahal, the president of the Saudi Arabian Football Federation, expressed the nation's commitment to making their World Cup hosting dream a reality and fostering global unity through football. FIFA recently awarded the hosting rights for the 2030 World Cup to Morocco, Spain and Portugal, with Uruguay, Argentina and Paraguay hosting the opening matches to commemorate the tournament's centenary. We are here for those moments in sport, but that's where we leave our sport for this hour. We'll touch on those headlines again in about an hour or so. The roads should be up and running by now. Let's see if there are any incidents you need to be aware of.
Well, let's start off with your traffic in Cape Town. There's some congestion on the N1 inbound between Old Oak Road and Kubik Interchange with an average speed of only 30 kilometers an hour, causing delays of up to 18 minutes. And staying in Cape Town, there's congestion on the N7 southbound. It's at the N1 inbound ramp. And in Cape Town, there's more congestion on the M5 northbound at that ramp to the N2 incoming. Expect delays. That's your traffic. Let's take another look at your weather. And the humanitarian organization Gift of the Givers is assembling an aid package for members of the army who suffered heavy losses in the fire at the Lahotla Combat Training School at Portsmouthburg in the Northern Cape. The fire, which was fanned by strong winds, left the entire army camp in ruins, and some 1,300 army members' shelters and personal belongings were destroyed. 6 soldiers died in the fire and 3 suffered serious burns. Meanwhile, the SA Weather Service have issued a warning for extremely high fire danger conditions expected over the northeastern parts of the Northern Cape, as well as the western parts of both Northwest and the Free State. Well, let's take a look at your temperatures for today. Those are your temperatures for your Tuesday. Uppington, a nice hot day reaching a high of 34. Well, let's take a look at those sunrise views. Poppy Swart from Tualume sent in her view along the shore. We'll look at that captivating photo. And then Chloe in Kells River captured this beautiful image of the bright blue sky and the mountainous area. Mia from St. Francis Bay sent through this sunrise view, and Johandre from Witstrand in the Western Cape captured this magnificent view of the beach, the sun beaming gold hues across the sky. We love it. We'll continue to share your morning views with us on our WhatsApp line. Our number is 063 408 8863.
Yeah, and while you continue to share your sunrise views, we're going to share some absolute magic and talent with you right now, because I'm standing next to two souls that have sacrificed, that have worked hard and reached incredible accolades. And to hear them right now is an absolute privilege. I'm talking about our opera singer, Lana English, alongside Jeremy Quickfall, who is on the keys, and they are about to blow us away for their first performance of the day. But before we even get into that performance, I want to say thank you guys for coming out here, especially this hour of the morning. You're setting the bar higher, challenging the voices, challenging the skill set. Well, let's talk about this journey, Lana. I think you started when you were 17 years old, is that correct?
Yes, my first solo performance as a young girl at 17 for an audience of over 2,000 was scary.
Yeah, intimidating.
And yeah. But I was in my element. It was in our church choir, and it was a huge performance. So I'm very happy I started there, and then I was cast as Maria in The Sound of Music for a production, and from then it just carried on. But at the time I was working as a dental nurse. So I would work during the day and sing at night. I joined Cape Town Opera as part of the chorus. And eventually, in 2003, I was auditioned and I was cast as Christine in The Phantom of the Opera, South Africa.
Wow.
And that just took me on another journey. And I've been around the world, traveling on cruise ships, working and singing. And now I'm back in Cape Town to be normal a bit.
International, and I'm so grateful that when you were 17 years old, you discovered that gift, you pursued it, and you've gotten to this stage now where we get to share it with the entire country, and it's an incredible accolade. Jeremy, you're a man on the piano and someone that has also been in the game for years. Your accolades are incredible. I'm just reading this now. You were the winner of the Lionel Bauman Piano Prize for Beethoven Music and placed second in the Bach piano competition. So clearly, this is not just a mistake, right?
No, definitely not.
What's kept you working so hard and being in this space? What ignited that passion in the first place?
Well, I think that for all of us who play an instrument, there isn't really a moment that ignites you. You see the instrument and you hear it for the first time, and you are just completely and utterly obsessed with it. And then also I grew up in the church. My dad was a priest, so I watched the organist and the choir and saw this whole music journey unfold all the time. So it was a combination of the church, and then just the very first time it was a girl, I saw a girl play the piano. I was like, okay, that's my thing.
Okay.
And it's just there. You don't do anything to ignite it. It's just there and it stays.
Yeah, I definitely resonate with that. I mean, just to think about me watching something like one of those musicals, it moves you, it grips you, it stimulates you in a way that you can't actually explain. And I think that's because you're using your talents to do that and express. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for what you are doing. And I'm going to allow Mzansi to absorb this magic that you are bringing forward to us. And I'm going to try and pronounce this name correctly. This is O mio Babino Caro from the opera Schicchi. Gianni Schicchi, right? And this one was performed by Puccini. And obviously, Lana English and Jeremy Quickfall are going to take us through this. So I'm going to leave you to send your magic to the world right now. The stage is yours. Take it away.
Mi piace bello It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, welcome back as we focus on a little bit of rugby. In fact, one of our particular stars. We are loving getting a little bit more background on some of those major Bok players who play a vital role, some flying a little bit under the radar, which makes this even more interesting. And this morning we're focusing on the big guy, Vincent Koch, a rugby sensation of exceptional caliber. He is an incredible scrummager. But join us as we take an in-depth look at his inspiring story, a true rugby powerhouse. Where did it all begin?
Indeed. So it started like this. Koch's rugby journey began at UNOT High School, and he made a significant impact at the University of Pretoria, otherwise known as Tuks, before earning a contract with the Pumas to play Currie Cup rugby.
Another Tuks boy, I love it. And then his professional rugby career took off as he transitioned into a role at the Stormers and obviously made his mark there, and then moved to the Saracens, where he became a standout tight head prop in European rugby. Again, one of our Northern Hemisphere agents.
Yeah, the man's bringing a balanced experience when it comes to his position right now, playing in so many versatile places. But Vincent Koch's club career has also seen him excel at renowned teams like Saracens, where he won 2 premiership titles and the European Championship Cup in 2017 and 2019. So that European experience is so valued right now, especially as he plays this World Cup.
Yeah, off the charts. And with 47 international caps already under the belt, he's been a stalwart for the South African national team, contributing to our success, including, of course, winning the 2019 Rugby World Cup, where the scrum was a major part.
It was huge, definitely part of that success. And speaking of success, after a successful stint abroad, Koch returned to South Africa in 2023, signing with the Sharks, and it adds a new chapter to his illustrious career, but definitely looking like he's laying his roots down back home, yeah?
Yeah, I love it. And I think kudos to the Sharks for starting that local trend of being able to have the bank to keep these stars here, these international talents, because these guys are playing for international, composite international teams in Europe, which is, I think, why the standard of the Springbok team has lifted so dramatically. We're getting the best of South Africa and the best of Europe in the Springbok team at the moment. But make no mistake, our success starts with those 3 gents up front. It really, really does. So when it comes to the tight head props, we love you guys, man. Fastest players on the field as well. But he's a dynamic player, and it sounds like he's got a very important role to play in the psyche of the team as well. He is that rock, literally, that the scrum depends on. Vincent Koch, we love you, buddy. All the best of luck this weekend. Yo, we're going to need him.
Oh, yeah. But I'm backing our boys, definitely. And looking at these visuals right now, definitely giving the inspiration that we need. You forget that a player like this is working so hard, but never really takes that recognition and credit. But I think this is a fine and opportune moment to give him exactly what is due.
Yeah, look, the goosey generally gets...
Oh, here's that spray. Look at the place.
Let him run free. Let him run free. Hey?
Even breaks the line out, so I didn't even take it. Oh!
And, oh, look at that. And the offload. I love it, man. He's got the rugby IQ. He's got everything else that we need, but most importantly, he's got the... Yes, I'm here for that. Vincent Koch, we love you, buddy. Oh, come on. We've got this. We've got this up against France this weekend, 9 o'clock SA time. It's going to be a cracker.
Oh, well, listen, we've been talking about rugby, and we're going to go even into a bigger deep dive, rather. And that's all thanks to the proud sponsors of the 2023 Rugby World Cup, Total Energies. And today we'll learn more about the role of players in the team with our game called Guess That Position. Now, the rules are simple. You will get 2 hints that will describe a rugby position, and you will have 10 seconds to guess it correctly. Each of you will have a chance to display your answer one at a time, and the person with the most correct answers will be the winner. But I almost feel like
I know
Graham being the pro, sorry, Raul, but when it comes to, he's the sports
he
guy.
Is actually the pro, though.
He knows about rugby since, like, the inception of rugby.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows it all.
Since 95, yo.
I mean, is it really a challenge if it's Graham versus Raul?
Do you really want to beat Ryle at this as well?
I don't know if I can beat him, but I feel like it will be more fair if we swap places.
Wait, are we really doing this?
Fair for you. I'm sorry, Robert. I'm sorry, buddy.
I feel like this woman next next to me just loves beating me at every game on the show. Oh, you guys, fun?
Now, I have high hopes for you, buddy. Did you play rugby? You played rugby. You must know this, man.
That's going to make it even more embarrassing, G.
All right, so you know the rules. You've got your white markers of heroics in front of you. You're going to put the name of that position down once I give you the clues.
All right.
And this isn't too difficult. I want you guys at home to play along and have a little bit of fun. This is all about learning the vital roles that certain positions play on the field. So let's start with round one. Yes, don't look so happy and confident, Zoe. Okay, this position
really
makes
getting in
up...
my head.
I know. She lives there, rent-free, bro. So this position makes up one of the players in the front row of the scrum. They're responsible for coordinating the timing of the scrum, gaining possession in the scrum, and throwing the ball into play in the line-out, hopefully straight.
So,
Okay, I have my answer.
I could see that you have your answer. Riles looking a bit remedial, but we'll get there, buddy. You can do it. Okay, and 3, 2, 1. The position is hooker.
Oh, gosh, you've got to be the
Tight head forward.
Oh, my goodness, this is not a great start.
You're
Oh, wow.
His
Oh, wow,
head. Let's
okay.
see. The correct answer is, of course, hooker.
wow, okay.
We got Rob Herring here, the Irishman. I don't know what. Did you like spike his drink or something? This is going to be crazy.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Round two. You can.
And I said the right number, right? Number 2.
You did. Number 2. You did. Okay. So before you write anything down, I'll start your 10-second counter as soon as I'm finished the clue.
Okay.
So our next position. Okay. Here are your hints. The player operates as a link between the forwards and the backs. This player must possess large amounts of acceleration and speed so that they can evade tackles and get the pass away. In 10, 9,
I don't even know anymore,
8,
man. Jeepers.
7, 6, 5.
Honestly, I don't know. I'm like...
We're going to have to wheelchair you out of here, bro.
Did I listen?
What did you say, flanker? I said scrum half, if you can't see my...
Honestly, I didn't register the
You didn't listen properly. You didn't listen properly, bro.
Like, I thought you meant the front scrum and the back. Oh, man.
And young Aaron
They're
Smith
really the smallest player on the field.
Yeah, I was going to be like the Mighty Mouse. I was going to give too many clues. Aaron Smith is one of the best in the business.
Yep.
Have you ever lost this many times to any athlete in your career, bro? Ever?
No comment.
Ever, bro?
Comment? Just carry on playing the game.
This is so exciting.
Round 3. I love this so much. Oh, my word. Okay, so our next position reads like this. Each team has 2 of these positions, Ryle, that act as finishers in attacking situations. This position is known as a tricky speedster that scores a great number of tries. Again, hopefully, they're responsible for evading opposition defenders, hunting down kicks, and performing try-saving tackles. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There was a lot of writing, bro. Well done.
I'm confident.
You caught the high ball, bro. You caught the high ball, but unfortunately, I think there was a dubious tackle and they smashed you. And of course, Cheslin
Obviously,
Colby.
I got that one. Why are you adding the numbers here just to show off?
Yeah, just to be like that. Oh,
even know if the
buddy.
numbers are
Let's see. You can't quite tie this one, but you can save a little face, my friend. Round
I can't
4.
win this game, can I? Oh, my gosh.
You can never win against Zoe. I think it's going to be just basically the algorithm of this. Round 4. The position is purely defensive and is known for protecting the ball, maintaining possession and providing support play. They are also incredibly physical and perform a high number of tackles in every game. They're fetchers.
Whoa.
Can I go?
Bashes. You can go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. There's 2 of them on the side, on the...
She's probably going to beat me again.
On the fringes.
I said flank.
No.
It's the other 2. It's the other 2. No, 8th man's actually not a bad one. I would probably give it to any Lucy to be with the things.
They kind of do the same role.
Okay,
They kinda
open
have the
side
same role.
flanker. Zoe, your level of nuanced rugby knowledge is very, very impressive, Ryle. I know you're hyper-focused, Bru, in your sport.
I don't know if those are the correct numbers.
So
I don't want to play games on the show anymore.
I hate the fact that I've actually lost count now of the amount of times that she has beaten the little pants right off you, my friend. It is a flank. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get a lukewarm round of applause for our resounding
I'm not clapping you. I'm not even clapping. I'm not going to clap. clap. I refuse.
Oh, congratulations, Zoe Brown. We found it. We found it. In the fastest man on Sans Armour. But we do love the players that we've been talking about. We love every position on that field. And of course, we've got to play our role, which means we've got to be well prepped for match day. We've got to have the snacks in us, and we've got to get all those essential Braai items. And to get that, you can head over to your Total Energy service station to top up on fuel, on Braai charcoal, firelighters, snacks, drinks, anything you need for the big game. And you can also, in so doing, earn club points that can then be redeemed for cashback vouchers that help you save on those future purchases, because there's a few more games coming up once we've won the semi-finals and make it to the final. Raul, any last final words? Oh, shame. Maybe some salsa
Just
dancing
like in
will cheer you
rugby,
up.
It's uniting our energies that helps us move forward.
You don't want a rematch, yeah, Raul? You want a
No,
rematch?
I don't want a
Okay,
rematch.
what would you like to do then after the break, Raul?
Get loose, just get rid of this and bring on some dancing, man. Maybe some salsa while we at it.
I like this.
I need to get rid of this owl and get a win, and hopefully we can do that. There's some salsa coming up for you, Mzansi. So time to move, time to shake, time to groove.
Oh, looking forward to that. And then we can also eat our feelings on the show. We're going to make some cheesy rolls. Perfect for the lunchbox, thanks to Melrose. So we're going to make delicious treats, so stay tuned.
It's not a competition.
It's not humble pie.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
All right, because we haven't found anything that Zoe isn't amazing at yet and can beat Ryle at, we thought we'd try something new. It's time to get sweating, and I will sweat, I promise you, but also have way too much fun in the process, because courtesy of Vodacom Enhance, we are on a mission to find fun ways to stay fit.
Oh, yes, we are looking for all kinds of ways to stay fit. And what is more fun than a salsa lesson that will get the heart pumping? Now, leading the way is founder of Salsa Cape Town, Mark, joining us alongside salsa instructor Taff and Leah. Oh, it's so great to have you here. Good morning.
You can just see that energy just like oozing out of you guys. Do you ever stop moving? Do your hips ever stop rolling? And I love it. I love it. Mark, we've had you on the show before, and there is something just so magnetic about this kind of dance form. What is it about salsa that sets it apart from other styles within this space?
I think it comes from the music. It's all the instruments in the music. That's why in movies, shops and malls, you hear it playing and it just attracts people in there. Yeah. Just makes you want to move. Even if you don't know the dance, if you don't know the lyrics, you just want to move your feet and you want to groove to it. So,
and it makes you think you can. I think it's the ideal wedding stock, this kind of vibe.
Definitely. Maybe, Leah, for you, why would you recommend that people try salsa, especially if they haven't tried it before?
Honestly, it's a great way to stay fit. We have a really awesome Salsa Fit course that we have going, and you learn from the get-go your basics, and we like build it and we turn it into the most amazing way to keep fit. We've got it happening at the Mojo Market too, so it's free, and it just has a great way to get people engaged and active, and yeah, it's awesome.
Because you don't even notice that you're training.
No,
to be honest.
100%.
I mean, we joke about my Strictly journey. Honestly, I lost 5 kilograms,
Sure.
put 4 kilograms back on of lean muscle. It transformed me, and I didn't even notice that it was happening. I think the big turning point for me in my Strictly journey was because whenever I looked at myself dance in the mirror, I'm like, this just looks ridiculous. Tapping into that machismo, tapping into the role of the male, the role of the female in this dance partnership made me feel more male than I've ever felt in my life. So much so that I'm married to my dance partner now. I think that played a part. But what is it about this kind of dancing that lets you get into that vibe? There is an energy about salsa. Have you been able to put your finger on it? Why do you love this so much, man?
I don't know. I think it comes down to just what salsa represents. It's a fusion of different things. So if you think salsa in relation to food, then you see all those ingredients coming together. It's pretty much like salsa. Like you have different elements from different cultures that just come through, and then you can also bring your own element that brings the
with a bit
Graham
of spice.
to the dance.
Yeah, 100%, with a little bit of spice. All right, we digress. Let's get going, shall we?
Yeah.
All right.
Do this.
Are you going to teach us a little
Yeah,
routine?
let's do a couple. So like anyone at home wants to join in, that's perfect. You get up, you don't need any partners. So we're going to start out right here, facing forward. We're going to go on 6 steps. So salsa music has 8 counts to it. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But for this, we're dancing on 6. So we dance 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. The 4 and the 8, there's no foot movement, but there is a little bit of upper body going.
A little bit of rumble, okay.
So we're going to step forward. We're going to take the left leg and we step forward on 1, then back and together. That's the first front. And then the right leg's going to go back on 5, 6, 7. We go forward and back, back, together. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. Good. Now we can change directions. Every time on the count of 1, the left leg's going to change direction. We can go to the side, we can go to the back and to the front, and then there's turns as well. And I hear the music going, so maybe we should jam. Yeah. So here we go. And it goes. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 5. 1, 5. And if you're at home, it's time for you to get up. Leave the cereal alone. Get up, have a little bit of a jam. We're going to go side to side. Left leg, side, side. Always to the middle, side, middle, side, middle, side, middle. Back to basic. And 1, 5, 1. We're going to break it to the back. So steps to the back. 5.
Where's the left
1,
leg
2,
first?
3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2.
Getting there,
Basic. Nice and easy. Keep it here. And let's go to the front. So we go left leg forward, right leg forward. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 5. 1, 5. Back to basic. There we go. You can check your watch and see how many calories you're burning. Side to side. 1. Basic. And we're gonna spice things up a little bit with a little bit of turning. So we're gonna go right spot turn. Turn, turn, turn. Back 6, 7. Forward. Back. Left leg. Right turn.
Ah, we get there.
I can't turn left, I promise.
Yeah, we got it.
Turn left.
Okay.
Let's try it again. Right turn. And 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
Go.
There we go.
Yeah. So we're gonna do something called a tap step. It will look like this. Tap, step, step, step. Basic, 1. Yeah, so the tap starts in the 8, and then we're going to our side step, yeah? Okay. Tap, step, and we go. Tap, step, step, step. Basic, 1. Nice.
All right.
Side to side. Back to basic. Right turn. We're gonna break it back. Left leg to the back. And you can roll the shoulders as well if you want.
What must the face
Back to
doing? I'm
basic.
feeling my face is doing all sorts of crazy things. Got the stank.
Okay, the left back, I still need to get to that. Practice that one.
Yeah, that as well. Break it back. Here we go.
Left.
1, 5.
Here we go. It's just remembering left goes
5.
first.
1. Back to basic. Right turn. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Here we go. Tap, step. Tap, step, step. Keep it going. Back to basic. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you are absolutely amazing. It's that easy. Get your troop together. Get moving. Don't stop moving. Keep on moving. Come on. If this has got you up and moving and feeling the endorphins, follow that energy. Music elevates any fitness routine, whether you're dancing, whether you're doing your version of the dance or not doing anything at all. We love it. So take your workout to the next level by choosing from a wide selection of trendy and very customizable accessories like smartwatches, headphones. You've got the wearables so you can track how many calories you're dancing away with Vodacom Enhance. And the best part, you can now activate your eSIM-enabled devices so that you'll never miss a beat at all. So you can, or a call or a notification or anything when you're out for that run or in studio learning how to salsa just like we've been doing. So if you're keen to try out a little salsa lesson, then you can of course sign up for a lesson with these legends at salsacapetown.co.za. They're an incredible family, a community of people who just want to have fun. You can also follow them on Instagram at Salsa Cape Town, and you can go and spend a bit of time with these spicy individuals. We will see you in just a moment. Ooh, bit of a sweat. There you did it.
Enhance what you love. Add more of what you need to your contract. Choose from a range of enhanced options in-store or online. Further together. Vodacom.
Oh, now that we all loosened up and worked up a sweat, it's time to put some curls back in the body. And it's also time to head back to school for term 4. And Melrose is remembering moms for providing much-needed lunchbox inspiration. I'm just getting nostalgia thinking about this when I was in school as a kid. Now, a jar of smooth, creamy Melrose spread is a well-loved staple in all homes, and we know you keep a backup in the cupboard to make sure Mom remembered. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Now, we are joined by Melrose brand manager at Lackley's SA. It's Portia Dube. And then we're going to bring in Chef Maxine in just a little bit because she's got something special prepared. But before we do, Portia, good morning. How are you doing?
Morning, morning.
Are you good?
Thanks, and yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm literally getting like weird, happy memories of like those little cheeses in lunchboxes and trading it with friends at school.
Right.
This is a memory. This is nostalgia. But talk to me about the versatility of Melrose range before we even get into anything.
So, Melrose has a wide offering, and it's so versatile. You can snack it, spread it, and slice it.
Okay.
So, we have our iconic wedges, which are perfect for snacking, right?
Okay.
Then we have our award-winning spreads. Award-winning.
Award-winning, I got you, I got you. I
which
like
are
that.
perfect for spreading on your bread, sandwiches, and you can even be versatile about it and even make homemade pizzas.
Ooh,
right?
yum.
Lastly,
Okay.
we've got our slices. We've got our slices in our range as well, which are perfect for sandwiches, burgers. The list is endless. Any lunchbox meal that you want to do, we've got you, right?
And convenience, obviously, as well. That's saving
Definitely.
time and saving you a lot of troubles trying to
Exactly.
get prepared, especially. I know the mornings can be chaotic.
Very. But it doesn't end there, right?
Okay.
We've also got like different flavors. I'm talking sweet milk, cheddar, bacon, biltong.
Okay.
So versatile. It allows you to like spice things up, you know, for your lunchbox meals for your kids.
I love
We've got you. We've got you.
Okay, absolutely. Well, speaking of, let's bring in the professional. We got Maxine over here. Maxine knows how to turn something that's already incredible into something even better. Maxine, I know that this is probably the easiest thing for you because working with any of these products, I know you can put any magic together. But what do you got prepared for us today? Something simple, something we can include into the recipe box and the lunch box for the kids?
It's simple, but it is so tasty.
Okay.
We are making some cheese and ham roll-ups. I'm going to start there on the pan.
Ooh,
It's gonna
cheese
pop it
and ham
on.
roll-ups. If it's involving something that melts cheese, then it's already got me covered. That's like kryptonite, so take us through this. How are you doing this?
Okay, so the pan's getting warm.
Yeah.
Boom. We're going to start with some simple sandwich bread. Sorry,
dancing.
I'm
Don't worry, we
dancing
warmed up with our
behind you
salsa,
guys.
so we can do
I
this
was
all
doing
day.
it there as well. We're just going to take our simple sandwich bread and we are going to put some Melrose on, of course.
Okay,
Of course,
all right.
of course. So simple, and also, like, I love this. It literally takes me back to when I was at school as well.
Spread as much as you can, Maxine.
Let me just say, actually.
And I was going to ask you, like, is there a rule to, like, how much bread you use here? Or is it kind of like, for me, this stuff's like kryptonite, the more the merrier, like, you can't go wrong. It's my weakness, I can't say no to this, so I want all of it on there.
You're going to see that it might squeeze and ooze out the side if you get too generous.
Okay.
But you can get a nice amount on there.
What's the deal with rolling up bread? I mean, the bakers spend all this time getting it all poofed up. Why are we squashing it back down?
I know, but it's going to make this really yummy kind of roll, like, you'll see.
We'll see.
Don't ask too many questions,
Maxine's
Bill.
here. We know we can trust her. We know she's going to do something special. While she's busy with that, Portia, let me talk to you as well, because I was blown away by the fact that your products have been around for 75 years. Is that correct? 75 years?
75 years.
That's insane.
That's very correct.
How has Melrose kind of supported and impacted moms over these 75 years? I know you've done a lot. I remember my mom always assisting me in the morning in those chaotic times, quickly trying her best to put something together to fuel me throughout the day, and stuff like this really, really assisted her. Yes. But what's your take on this? How's it impacted moms for 75 years?
75 years,
Yeah.
right? I think as a mom myself, right, my greatest joy comes from, you know, seeing a smile on my son's face when I pack or give him, you know, his favorite meal or snack,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's how Melrose has also impacted in the lives of the moms, right? It's all about that joyful surprise of, you know, finding Melrose in your lunchbox from generation to generation. And that has obviously been, like, you know, in the families as well.
Yeah.
And that's what we're all
becoming a
about.
tradition, right?
Exactly. You know, just seeing that smile on your child's face when they, you know, open up their lunchbox or they find out that you've actually packed them a Melrose wedge or it was a sandwich, as we're doing now, with some Melrose spread. That's literally how we've just always wanted to impact the moms and their lives.
Oh.
That joyful moment.
I love that. And obviously, while Maxine is still busy, I want to speak to you more about this, because the spreads come in resealable 250-gram and 400-gram glass jars. And that's because sometimes you use a lot, and that's not a problem, that's okay, and other times not so much. And that's when the kids are demanding their wedges, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Maxine, how's it going on your side? What have we accomplished so far in this recipe?
So we have 2 little roll-ups done.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm cutting off the crust because sometimes kids can be fussy about that. I would actually recommend cutting them off before you put on some cheese and ham.
okay. All right.
Because then you can use them in other ways as well, like pop them in the air fryer and then dip them in your cheese.
Stop it, I like it. Okay. You see, this is why we got Maxine there. She knows how to just turn it up.
Or make like a little eggy mix and make like kind of French toast fingers. So good. But
Versatility? That's what you were talking about right
Exactly
there?
what I was
Okay, I see
talking
you, I see you.
And then I'll do the last one in a moment. We're just going to pop a little bit of butter onto our pan.
Nice.
This is actually the best part.
Ooh, very
We
nice.
just have a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
You can never have enough.
Thank you. You said it for me. You said it
I think if this was going on in my kitchen with all these smells, I probably wouldn't be able to pay attention in class. I'd just be looking forward to break time, or probably sneaking a little sandwich in during class.
Yeah.
This is already smelling incredible. We haven't even finished it off, but I'm just thinking, with that cheese spread, with that ham and everything coming together, oh, this is like a dream come true. I've never actually tried something like this before, so dying to bite into it once we're done. I gotta say, the nostalgia for me is so real again. Maxine, were you ever like privileged enough to have any of those wedges or anything in your lunchbox at school?
I did. I would have the actual little triangles.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh. And you sit there and one's not quite enough. So next day you're like 2 and your mom buys around and after one day she's like, who finished all the cheese?
Yeah, I was saying to Portia, like at school, if you didn't get it, and some of the kids weren't lucky, you'd see at break time, it was like trading cards. Everyone would be at break time, like, I'll trade you a wedge for like my whole lunchbox. Take all my sandwiches and you can just have one. And I'm not joking, it was really like a thing. I think it was the wrapping. It just presented itself as like this premium sort of a snack. It's like unwrapping a gift. It kind of felt like Christmas every time.
Yeah.
But you can clearly see why, especially when you dig into it. And as we dig into this recipe, you can see the crispiness of the bread just coming through. Ooh.
And it really, like,
Goodness
elevates
gracious.
the basic sandwich.
Yeah,
Like, if I get this in my lunchbox, I'd be like, did my mom just, I don't know, does she have bad news to deliver? Why am I getting so spoiled?
Is it my birthday?
I add an extra sandwich for myself as well when I make lunch for my son. This is for you, and then this is just for me, for that nostalgic feeling.
I see what you're doing, and I can't agree with you anymore. If I was doing the same thing, I'd probably make an entire set just for myself. But Portia, thank you for coming through. Thank you for sharing how versatile these products are. 75 years of supporting, of impacting. And Maxine, thank you for showing us how easy and how simple it is to make something this magical. Of course, Mzansi, if you want any of this recipe inspiration, you can get it online, expressoshow.com. But for now, though, tuck into this, keep sharing those memories, and keep sharing the happiness with your loved ones. Oh, beautiful stuff. Well done. Can we get it now?
What a dream lunch. I'm taking this.
It's Melrose's 75th birthday, so we're thanking every mom in South Africa for being the one that remembers, the one who always knows what's for lunch and how to make you feel special. This time, we say, Melrose remembers mom. Follow us and stay tuned to win great prizes.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Now you can see by the smile on my face, I am very enthusiastic about this next little chat. Over the past few years, we've become a lot more accustomed to getting important things done remotely. We've had to, largely thanks to technology. We have taken a quantum leap forward in what we can achieve. More people are working from home, and we have access to speedy delivery services. Great, nice to have. That will drop off our groceries at the top, literally at the tap of a phone. But also growing exponentially is online schooling, the opportunity to learn and learn in real time. Now, a leader in this space is the COA Academy, which offers a grade 4 all the way up to an IEB accredited matric certificate. Boy, how the landscape has changed. How do they do it? Well, we're going to find out right now from the principal, Mark Anderson. Brimming with pride, as you should be, buddy.
Thanks, Graham. Really am. Yeah.
It's a crazy time. I think maybe we can oversimplify this, because I think a lot of parents have had to go through this. I'm going through it. My kids are young. Will there be schools, traditional models of schools? And I've gone for a very traditional model, not necessarily for the schooling, but for all the other stuff. When it comes to learning, it's a different landscape right now. So how would you describe your learning platform?
Yeah, great question, Graham. I think, one of the things that I'm excited about now at the moment is parents like us have more options than we've ever had before when it comes to how we school our kids. We've said for ages that we know that our current traditional model of education is outdated. And what I'm excited about in the online space in particular is we're seeing a lot of constraints falling away, and we're seeing a lot of benefits popping up.
A lot of economic constraints.
Yes, economic, political, geographical, you know, the way that we staff, the way that we do our teaching and learning. And so what we're seeing at COA, which we're really excited about in the online space, is more options for parents to be able to leverage the benefits of being online. And we're talking about things like greater flexibility, more individualization. You know, at COA, we're able to give every learner an individualized timetable. You know, better access to real-world opportunities. So we're really excited about what's happening in the online space.
So it almost feels like a mentorship hookup more than a learning platform, if that makes any sense, because you're connecting to real people on an individual basis.
Sure.
Not every child is going to be suited for every kind of learning situation. It differs, and every child will have seasons of their life as well, just like us, where you shift and you change. What student are you perfectly primed for, or what student is primed for you?
Yeah, really good question, Graham. I think when we look at the history of education, something like online schooling was maybe originally seen as an option for the outliers. And what we're seeing in recent years is actually, you know, online schooling was born out of a subset of homeschooling, where traditional homeschooling, we think of the parent as the teacher, right? I have to teach my child. But in online schooling,
Please God,
not math, please not math, anything but math. But what we're seeing in online schooling is that the online school takes responsibility for the teaching and learning, just like a traditional physical school. And so the parent is able to leverage that while accessing the benefits of being online. And so when we look at the type of child that it suits, it's not just the outliers. You know, more than 60% of our learners have actually joined us from traditional physical schools and are thriving because it really suits a range of families and different types of learners.
Well, you can cherry pick in a way that I don't think a normal school system allows, or it has the freedom to be able to. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
Let's empower the parents like me. What questions do I need to be asking? How do I kind of work out the best way to plug my learner into this place?
Yeah, Graham, not all physical schools are the same.
Yeah.
Even more so, not all online schools are the same. There's such a range of online schools. So it's important for parents to ask questions. I like to put the questions into 3 categories. I call them the 3 A's. So we talk about accreditation, we talk about approach, and we talk about access.
Okay.
So accreditation is who are you registered with? Are your teachers qualified? What was your pass mark last year? You know, if your online school isn't open and transparent about their matric pass mark, that's a red flag for me. Then we talk about approach. What does a typical day look like? How many learners are in a class? You know, if my child's sitting in a maths live lesson, how many other kids are in that session? And then we talk about the final one, which is access. Can I pick up the phone and talk to my child's teacher? Can I ask them questions about my child? If my child's stuck, can they get the help that they need when they need it? Those are really important things.
And they will speak to trust as well, which is a vitally important element because you're going to be in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
You really are working together. You mentioned the question, what does a day in the life look like? So how does this all come together? What does a day in the life look like when it comes to extracurricular and learning? How does it all come together in your space?
At COA, how long do we have, Graham? So, I mean, what I love about COA is that we've really been able to design something specifically for the online space. COA Academy is accredited with the IEB, the Independent Examinations Board, to offer up to grade 12, the matric certificates. Probably what makes us most unique in the online space is that we do our learning in what we call pods.
Okay.
That's small classes of only 8. So we're, you know, economically scale says let's pack as many into the space as possible. For us, we said, well, one of the greatest challenges of online learning is what we call engagement. People connecting to people and having those meaningful connections.
Two-way flow of communication, for sure.
So if you can imagine 8 people on a screen, everyone can be seen, everyone can be heard, cameras on,
like
mics
a
on.
matrix, yeah,
it is. And so for us, that's highly engaging, highly accountable. So we love our pods of 8 where our learners are meaningfully engaging with each other and their teacher.
I absolutely love it. We're going to keep your connection on all of our platforms so that people who want to ask these questions can find out more. I love the fact that for every child, there is a place in the world right now. And for very long, that wasn't the case. From a socio-economic platform standpoint, really, South Africa's needed to adjust the balance, and online is providing such a major, major key. So thank you so much for being a part of that. You look too young to be a principal, man. Too
I'll
young
take
to
it,
be a
Graham.
principal.
I'll take it.
Take ownership of that. To all the parents that are looking for a different way of letting their child be empowered for the world as it is now and the world that it's becoming, this is definitely the jumping off point. Go and check it out.
Well, we said Tuesday is all about putting the spotlight on your health, and today we're delving into a crucial topic for employees and employers alike: allergies in the workplace. Now, we have a special guest with us, dietitian Tessa Hiller. With her expert advice, we are going to discuss how to create a safe environment for individuals with allergies and gain valuable insights on managing this issue within the workspace. Tess, it's great to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you good? Listen, this is a season where allergies are rife. There's a lot going on. But when it comes to the workplace, let's be specific about this. What are the most common, let's say, food allergies that one can experience in the workplace? And how can we maybe sort of help individuals manage this?
Okay, so it's important to realize that there's a difference between allergies and intolerances. So allergies are a little bit more severe. So basically, food allergies are when your body reacts or your immune system reacts or like has an abnormal response to food, and it can actually become quite life-threatening. So the common food allergies are your cow's milk, your eggs. I've got to remember this list now.
There's probably nuts is a popular one.
Nuts, tree nuts, peanuts, your shellfish, your normal fish, and then also wheat, soya, and then sesame is kind of a more common one, that kind of recent one that's popped up. We know things like gluten as well, but that's not a very common food allergen. So, and the most important thing that one needs to realize is that if one gets exposed to this and has a food allergen, then it can become life-threatening. So the best thing is avoidance, complete elimination of that food allergen in the workplace.
And accidents happen in the workplace. So as an employer, how can they ensure that their work environment is safe for their employees, especially those that perhaps have food allergies?
Yeah. So creating awareness and education around food allergens are quite important. I think a lot of us, those who don't have one, don't really realize that it's around. So I think creating kind of that awareness, having that open communication with their employees to say, listen, please let us know if you've got a food allergy or not. Making sure that, like, if there's communal areas where they're sharing meals or there's actually meals being prepared, you've got to make sure that the kitchen staff are being trained, that there's no contamination, that, you know, sometimes they do little labels and they have all the different ingredients under for the recipes as well. But I still believe that it's employees' responsibility to let the employer know that they have that food allergen. You know, otherwise it's not a very common thing that happens.
Yeah. And that was going to lead me to my next question. I mean, like, how do you actually identify whether an individual has or needs these specific dietary requirements and they actually have that sort of allergic response? But I guess it's very difficult as an employee to do that because it's like, I'd have to just individually ask everyone that question. And if they don't know, then they can't really answer you, right?
Exactly.
Right. So then when it comes to, let's say, restrictions on allergies, what steps would we take if we did know that someone had these issues? What could we do and what sort of restrictions could we put in place to kind of alleviate that strain or that potential risk that they might go through?
Sure. So I think we've got to kind of then realize where is a common area where you find those type of allergens. So I think mainly around the food and like the food or the kitchen or the canteen. I think that's the most important thing. In the sense of if someone has a really severe allergy, they've always got to make sure that they've got their EpiPen on them or their adrenaline. But when it comes to actually implementing, I think it's important that the employees or their colleagues are aware of that allergy specifically too.
And obviously just make sure that the labels are definitely there for everybody. Okay, all right, making sense.
Definitely. So I think, you know, having all those different things in place, it makes complete sense. But you made a valid point that it's up to the employee to be, you know, it's their responsibility to take their own health into consideration. For someone that grew up with allergies, they already know how to look after themselves. But as adults, you also get new allergies that all of a sudden pop up. Do you perhaps have advice for someone that's now all of a sudden they were fine eating seafood and now all of a sudden they have that reaction, how they can go about protecting themselves?
Yeah, so I think getting in touch with a registered dietitian is always very useful. You know, we are the food experts. We can Google everything and we can consult other people. But I think really understanding, looking at the various sources, because it's not necessarily always just that one specific group. It could be kind of other groups that are linked to that type of food allergen. And then making sure that when they remove and they eliminate it from their diet, that they do replace it with a good alternative or good substitute that's obviously still safe for them, so that they can still actually have a good balanced diet. I think that's really key.
Oh, coming through with the goods, Tessa. Thank you so much for serving us this morning, officially making it a Health Tuesday, and I really thank you for your expertise. From Mzansi, it gets even better. We're not only educating you, but also giving you the chance to stand in line and win 5,000 Rand in cash this week by answering this simple question. Now, have you ever had to call in sick to work because of your allergies? Well, tell us what happened and include the hashtag LevoChecks in your answer on our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram competition post. Now, the competition closes on the 16th of October, and your T's and C's do apply. What are you waiting for? Get involved and make sure that you have an allergy-free season all year.
Mabel, check this. With a MyGoals premium account, you get 12 free airport lounge visits.
12?
Yeah.
God, David, when are you busy planning your next getaway during office hours? Man.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Welcome back. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3, and we're a few minutes after 8, so let's quickly catch up with those headlines, starting with national news. Another senior executive of a state institution has resigned, this time the chairperson of Eskom's board, Mpho Makwana. The Minister of Public Enterprises, Pravin Gordhan, said Makwana would vacate his office at the end of October, just after the annual general meeting. Gordhan said board members Mteto Nyati would be appointed in Makwana's place. Makwana's resignation follows a week after 2 senior managers of Transnet resigned. And the Constitutional Court has clarified that jailed Paralympian Oscar Pistorius was eligible for parole consideration in March. This after Pistorius recently turned to the Apex Court for correct interpretation of his parole eligibility. It found that he had already passed the halfway mark on the 21st of March this year. Pistorius was sentenced to 6 years in 2016, but that sentence was increased to 13 years and 5 months in 2017. The confusion stems from the fact that Pistorius' time in prison has been interrupted by appeals and a period of house arrest. Moving to news abroad, a Kenyan High Court has blocked the government's plans to deploy police officers to Haiti or any other country pending the hearing of a petition. The judge cited issues raised in the application as being a national importance and public interest. One of the petitioners, former presidential candidate Ekuru Ekot, said the proposed deployment was unconstitutional. It's argued that there's a question mark over whether regular police can actually be deployed on international assignments. Okot added that the country could not afford to spare 1,000 officers before addressing insecurity at home. And the Hamas-Israeli clashes have led to massive flight cancellations at the Ben Gurion International Airport in Tel Aviv, now supplying shelters for passengers. Tel Aviv is the most populous city in Israel. Hamas announced military operations against Israel on Saturday, with thousands of rocket shells fired at Israel's and skirmishes with Israeli troops. In response, Israel carried out multiple airstrikes on the Gaza Strip. Some 700 Israelis have been killed and some 2,000 wounded. The Palestinian Health Department says Israel's airstrikes have killed 413 Palestinians, including 78 children and 41 women, and injured some 2,300 others. And a woman in Darley Abbey in Derby in the UK by the name of Donna is worried that she may be in trouble being called a thief, but in fact, she owns a cat that is a kleptomaniac and has repeatedly stolen various items from her neighbors. Known as cat burglar Harry, the tomcat continues his plundering ways, bringing home stolen goods such as packages of sausages, even sports bras, purses, and many, many pairs of shoes. Owner Donna believes Harry actually means well and thinks that these items are presents. She has now posted a list of what Harry has stolen over the years on Facebook in the hopes of finding the owners. She estimates that their value is that of about 7,000 rand. Well, on that very adorable note, that's where I leave your morning headlines.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Let's start with the bad news first in rugby, certainly from a Springbok perspective. Antoine Dupont's hopes of featuring in France's World Cup quarter-final against the Springboks received a significant boost as he was cleared to return to rugby training. So the team captain had undergone that surgery for his broken cheekbone on the 22nd of last month and had been gradually easing back into training. And following his visit to the surgeon on Monday, the French Federation, the FFR, have confirmed his authorization to resume training immediately. The final decision on his participation in Sunday's clash with the Boks will rest on Dupont himself. So I have a feeling he'll be out there for the match scheduled to start at 9 p.m. Now, looking at some of the other quarter-final news, the absence of influential flanker Pablo Matera, a beast, due to a grade 3 tear in his right hamstring, is obviously a significant setback for Argentina ahead of their Rugby World Cup quarter-final showdown against Wales. So Matera, a senior leader, suffered that injury during the Pumas' recent very physical victory over Japan. His experience and leadership is going to be sorely missed as Argentina faces a formidable challenge in their quest for World Cup success. Wales finding their form at just the right time in the tournament, I think. Now let's turn to the other World Cup that's playing out in India and cricket in firm focus. And Mitchell Satner, the man of the moment, he played a scintillating innings and then delivered a 5-wicket haul to lead New Zealand to a commanding 99-run victory over the Netherlands yesterday. So the 31-year-old left-hander, he smashed an explosive 36 of just 17 balls, contributing to New Zealand's formidable total of 322 for 7. And then he followed that up with more heroics with the ball, becoming New Zealand's first spinner, in fact, to claim 5 wickets in a World Cup match. This is going to be a history-making World Cup, I think, and that restricted the Dutch to 23 rather, all out in just over 46 over. So the win marks New Zealand's second consecutive victory after their emphatic 9-wicket win against the defending champions England in Ahmedabad. Now let's turn to some footballing news and throw it way forward. Saudi Arabia has taken a significant step towards its bid to host the 2034 FIFA World Cup by submitting now a formal letter of intent to FIFA. Yasser Al-Misahal, the president of the Saudi Arabian Football Federation, expressed the nation's commitment to making their World Cup hosting dream a reality and fostering global unity through football. FIFA recently awarded the hosting rights for the 2030 World Cup in Morocco, Spain and Portugal, with Uruguay, Argentina and Paraguay hosting the opening matches to commemorate the tournament's centenary. So we look forward to more history-making moments in sports, but that's where we leave our sport for today. Let's hope the road doesn't have too much to report on in terms of the traffic, and then we'll get into the weather with Ra.
Thank you so much, G-Man. Yes, let's dive into the traffic this morning and see how we can assist you. And starting off in Germiston, Johannesburg. Now, there's been an accident on the N12 westbound, and that's before Edenvale Road. Now, the left shoulder is closed, so if you're in the area, please do drive carefully. Sticking to Johannesburg and moving over to Sandton right now, there's heavy congestion on the N1 northbound, and that's between Winnie Mandela Drive and Bayers Nordier Drive, so you can expect delays in the area, so do allow for more travel time if you are passing through. From Johannesburg, we head over to KZN and eThekwini to be specific. Now, there's an overturned heavy motor vehicle on the N3 to Durban, and that's before the ramp from Peacevale. Now, the right lane is obstructed. So again, if you are in the area, and as you can see from our visuals right now, you definitely will expect delays if you are passing through. And sticking to KZN in Durban, there is a stationary vehicle on the N2 southbound, and this one is off the EB Klutter interchange. Now, the left lane this time is obstructed, so if you are approaching the area again, please do so with caution. And I think for anybody heading out on the roads this morning, buckle up, stay safe, and plan accordingly. From the roads to the sky, let's find out what's happening when it comes to weather. Reporting on weather news right now, and the SA Weather Service has issued 2 yellow level 2 warnings for today. First up, disruptive rain leading to localized flooding is expected along the coast between Port Alfred and Port Edward in the Eastern Cape. Now, the other yellow level 2 warning is for severe thunderstorms with possible strong damaging winds and large amounts of small hail over the eastern parts of the Free State and the central and southeastern parts of Northwest. Now, meanwhile, the Western Cape government says 33 roads are still closed following the recent flooding in the province, and Premier Alan Winde says they're trying to repair the roads as quickly as possible, including the N2 at Botrivier, on which work has already started, as well as Franschhoek Pass. Well, from our weather news, it's time to look at those temperatures one last time and see what you can expect for the day. Polarities when it comes to temperatures. Yes, there's looks like rain and also lots of sunshine depending on where you're at. But let's take one last gander and see exactly what it looks like in your side of town. That's the sunrise views I'm talking about. And Luvana from Camps Bay is starting us off, showing off magnificent Cape Town mountains. Oh, getting Nature Boy excited for this one. It looks like possibly the 12 Apostles in the background there, but a beautiful shot nonetheless. Thank you so much for sharing this one. And then we got John from Tanzania. Whoa, showing off the beauty that the Serengeti offers. It looks like a scene from a movie. We've gone international with this one, and wow, the layers, the foreground, everything is perfect in this shot. I absolutely love it, John. Thank you so much. We've got Shane all the way out in Gauteng who's coming out next, sharing the view of the lightly cascaded clouds. I love this one. It's like a little painting. Van Gogh is definitely involved in this one. Nice stuff, Shane. And then Reiki from Northwest sent through his view, and this is of a tall tree and clear morning sky within his backyard. And I'm loving the palm tree, just giving us the feels of like summer days ahead and islands in the sun. I absolutely love it, Mzansi. Keep it coming and use the number 063-408-8863 because we do it all again in the morning. For now, though, let's see what else we can expect for the show.
Oh, well, listen, on your Feel Good Breakfast show, still to come, we've got a panel together, and it's all about choosing soft as a strength. We'll be unpacking that with some incredible individuals. And then we have her angelic voice on your show, Lana English, with us alongside Victor Sanjay. So stay tuned. We have a lot still on its way.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso on S3, and we often see softness as a weakness. But as a matter of fact, being soft and kind-hearted can be one of the most powerful strengths in many aspects of life. Now, our Big Soleil Choose Soft panel, they are here to unpack this very important topic. And our panel today have content creator and a regular on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Kelly Kicks. We have life coach Ellie Lawrence and Yasmin Gaby from the Psychedelic Association of South Africa. To our incredible panel, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Guys, I gotta say, this is something that has hit home. It's something that I personally have tried to change in myself, coming from toxic masculinity, coming from a place where a man must be strong, and strong is all that you can bring in the world. Let's talk about it right now. Is softness seen as a strength or a weakness, and why? Big question.
Who wants to start?
Loaded question. It sounds easier than we think, and I'd love to hear everyone's opinion on this.
I think first we have to unpack what softness is, because softness isn't a character on its own. There's different divisions to it or layers to it. So I would say that softness is an empathic person, a kind person, a person with sensitivity, no ego, humble by nature, and a person that gives of themselves. They have time to listen to your story, giving of their energy, and a person that is comfortable with other people. So their IQ, the emotional IQ and social IQ is high.
Wow. Softness just took on a whole new meaning, just on that alone. And for me right now, that's absolute goals. I love that.
Yasmin, I'm going to start off with you. How do you view softness in your field?
I think softness is like one of the colors of the palette of who we are, right? All the different shades of, I'm not one to say shades of grey, but anyways. And so we must be careful of just saying either or, softness or. What's the contrast to softness? Is hard, firm. And that's where people be afraid, if I'm not soft, then I'm hard. But in a workplace, you need both. There are certain events or certain places that you need to be soft, and certain places where you need to be firm. So what I would always change the narrative and go, how do you be authentic? How are you authentic to this experience? What does it bring up? Does it bring up softness, firmness, and in that, the gentleness of the experience? So I think sometimes reframing softness, because softness has a bit of a little derogatory. You know, when you say soft, automatically you dip into something like, uh-oh. But then, you know, when we unpack it, then you bring up all the other qualities, the other colors of softness.
Kelly, you're someone that plays in an industry that requires, I think right now, women to be strong.
Yeah.
Women to be standing up at the forefront. We're celebrating women right now, and with that, I think, comes this unintentional pressure for women to now have to take the podium and have to be strong in the space and medium that they play in. Do you find that you are dealing with that pressure? Do you find that you are having moments where you can be soft with your audience, or do you feel that that just leaves you too vulnerable and ridiculed of being weak and not being a strong woman per se? How does that play in your space?
I love this question because I grew up being, as one would say, a softie, but like to the extent of everything that you've explained softness to be was just that. There wasn't any balance between being strong with that softness or allowing boundaries with that softness, for lack of a better explanation. So I would allow like my kindness and everything to be taken advantage of. So as I got into this industry and obviously learning the ways of how things are working in the industry, and like not everybody is the same as you are, I've learned that you need to have that boundary and that strength to be, okay, I can allow the softness to come out to people, but not at the expense of my own feelings and my own growth. So you can't stop yourself with your own softness. So it's just that balance of what can you give and also not take away from yourself in return.
I love that, definitely. Ellie, how would you recommend people to choose softness in a work environment or perhaps in life when it comes to family?
Well, I think you have to be true to yourself, number one. And you can't be someone else because society teaches us to be hard. And it teaches us that you have to be hard to survive in this modern life. And we see that in the movies, and we see that on TikTok, and we're always looking at the outward, how others are, so that we can mirror them. But it isn't so. You have to be literally, genuinely true to yourself in the way that you are as a person, because you have that innate nature of softness. So you can't rub it out and you can't layer it like icing on a cake. You have to really live with yourself every day. So I think softness is something that is a gift, and it has qualities of its own and strengths of its own. And one should actually focus on those qualities rather than look at the expectation of others, you know, that they are requiring of you.
Well, I love this. It's maybe one to choose soft for every right reason. I think one thing that really stands out for me is the fact that you brought in how important empathy is.
Yes.
It brings about that understanding. It brings about the ability to listen, to learn, to be educated, and with that, the ego needs to be put aside, which I absolutely love. So I think for many of us right now, this is something we should all adopt. I think that value and that essence of softness. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your experience, and for being, I think, strong women that embody softness in a way that can be celebrated. I think that's changing this narrative, and I think it's important to understand what that actually means, and you've done that perfectly this morning, so thank you so much.
Thank you to our incredible panel. And we want to know from you, do you see softness as a strength or a weakness? Let us know on social media and join us next week for another insightful panel discussion. And then choose soft with Big Soleil Click 3 or Click 3 Sensitive. It's enriched with aloe vera for the silkiest results.
Listen, again, for me, I'm just thinking to myself, like, why did I think that softness was weakness? And when you mentioned that whole saying to me, it really is a paradigm shift. I've got to just add to this note of, I think it's a quality that we should all take on. I think this is a great reminder, and I know I said this before, but thank you, Mzansi, and a reminder to you to understand that empathy, understand that softness, and implore those values of listening. And right now, you maybe want to listen to this.
Yeah, thank you, Softie. From one Softie to the biggest Softie on set, man. I am there for that, and I'm there for this. Joining us on our stage, this magical little square meter of joy is a brother and sister musical duo, amazingly talented singers, Lana English and Victor Cillier, who have obviously an incredible backlog of a catalogue of incredible performances behind them, and they are coming together for a very special performance in honor of children who desperately need it. Now, I understand that while this song was brought together by the incredible musical genius Clive Ridgway, it was co-created by Lana and Victor themselves, and we're in for a very special treat. Here they are with This Is Me. Enjoy.
What was meant to be, what lay ahead, how could we see a warm embrace or a broken heart, so very close yet so far apart, yesterday, today and tomorrow. The tears and the sorrow, when nothing was quite what it seemed. Now here we are, each with our own story, knowing that it was meant to be. Here I stand, proud to say, the sun to shine again. the sorrow when nothing was quite what it seemed. Now here we are, each with our own story, knowing that it was meant to be. Here I stand, proud to say, here I am, this is me. Here I stand, proud to say, here I am, this is me.
Finally, my song. Finally, I have my song. This is me. Just deal with it. Oh, thank you so, so much. We will have one more performance on our live platforms straight after the show. Do not miss that for a second. But if you want to see and feel this magic firsthand, the Heroes Gala Concert in aid of the Peninsula School Feeding Association happening in Cape Town City Hall the 14th of October. That's this Saturday at 2 o'clock. Get to quicket.com to get your tickets. Just 200 Rand. It is a steal. And of course, underpinning the incredible work that they do in feeding young bellies, we're going to get into the importance of a good breakfast, what that actually means for our kids, and then we're going to whip up something truly delicious, a no-bake Rocky cookie, which sounds immaculate. Stick around for that. But can we get another round of applause for the brother and sister? Thank you. You are the same age, incidentally, exactly.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Time now to focus on our overall health and well-being, and especially when it comes to our little ones, that's when you've got my interest. Prioritizing a healthy breakfast is a simple way to invest in your child's well-being, as it provides the necessary energy, and they need a lot of that, and of course the vital nutrients to excel in school for their daily activities. And we know young ones have busy, busy days. And this morning I've got three fantastic guests to help me work through this journey and unpack just how important the right breakfast really is. Please welcome 6-year-old Precious, 10-year-old Lutendo, and here to weigh in with her breakfast expertise is a professional breakfast maker and eater, and of course a registered dietitian, Bianca Tromp from Future Life. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being back, Lutendo, Precious. So good to see you here. I know it's nice seeing yourself on TV, hey? We love it. So you guys have been on the show a few times, so thank you so much for being here. You're kind of like my kid plug-in. Precious, I'm going to start with you. Why do you think breakfast is so important? Why do you love breakfast so much?
Because you'll have no energy later.
Simple as that. Bianca, that's true. on the money.
Very true, yes, for sure. Like breakfast is so beneficial, not only for adults, but especially for children. Breakfast has shown so many benefits for physical development and for cognitive development. And actually, children who eat breakfast perform better at school. So these children have better attention spans, they have better academical performance. And I mean, that makes sense. If you're hungry, you're not thinking of what the teacher is saying, hey, you're just thinking, when is break time so you can have your lunch?
Luciano, I'm guessing you like pizza, like ice cream. Would those make a healthy breakfast, do you think?
No.
Why not?
It's not really healthy for breakfast.
It's just too much nice things, man.
When we're looking at a breakfast, we should think of this as our first opportunity of the day to really feed our bodies. And it's also an opportunity to get the bulk of the nutrients that you need for the day. So if you choose wisely, if you choose a healthy breakfast, let's say you're choosing a good breakfast cereal, it should be high in fiber, so then you get your bulk of fiber for the day. And especially in children, it's really difficult to get enough fiber. So fiber for the day, you're going to have it with milk or yogurt, so that includes a dairy for the day. You need 3 dairies a day, so that's 1 dairy for the day. And if you have it with a fruit, then maybe have it with cut fruit. You're getting one of your fruit portions for the day. And then it should provide sustained energy for the day. So not a quick spike of energy and then they get the slump at about 10 o'clock in the morning. That's not what you want. You want something to provide you with sustained energy.
Because we know when we're young, we got energy up and down like this all the time. It's like, whoosh, 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 which is great. We need to feed our bodies, but we also want to grow healthier. And Precious, I've got a difficult question for you. Do you know what vitamins and minerals are?
Yes, it is. It helps your body function well.
It's on the money. I absolutely love that. Please, thank you, Lord, for teaching us the children, teaching them the right way. But it's what we need. It's one thing having the energy, but this is quite a complex little machine. I call it the Ferrari, and it needs complex machinery kind of being activated in it. Why and what role do the vitamins and minerals play when it comes to young bodies especially?
Yes, so vitamins and minerals are crucial. That's the one thing we say, they're micronutrients. You can't see them. Your body needs them in really small amounts, but we don't necessarily get enough vitamins and minerals. So they're so important in so many facets of growing up.
And it's a great way to start learning about our health. If you start this journey early on and you make your kids an active participant in this, they must understand why what they're eating is good for them. Then the lesson will sink in.
Yes, for sure.
It does help when things taste nice, okay? And I think that's often the biggest issue as a parent is like you want to push the healthy agenda, but it's difficult to get your kids to actually enjoy and eat the stuff. So we've got Future Life Kids cereal, which is delicious. The texture is what wins for me. It's just so nice in the mouth. But they've got chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. Precious, chocolate, strawberry, or vanilla, which do you think will be your favorite flavor?
Strawberry.
Strawberry. You had to think about it for a while. I think everyone has their favorites. What about this cereal works so well?
We need a cereal that's great tasting, otherwise kids just won't have it.
Won't go there.
So that's a tick. It's really a great tasting cereal. It's oats clusters and puffed rice. It's coated in our regular Future Life Smart Food and it's baked. But we've added some extra benefits to it.
Nice.
So it's nice and high in fiber. It also contains a probiotic called Bacillus coagulans, which is good for their tummy and their gut health, and it's high in vitamins and minerals. So we make some claims on it. The vitamins and minerals support bone development, brain development, and also their immune systems. And then we're 40% less sugar than the market leader in kids cereal. So there's so many benefits. So the parents would also approve and the kids would approve because it tastes delicious.
Yep, and parents have been known to finish their kids' food every once in a while. It might just happen from time to time. Lieutenant Precious, are you guys ready to cook? Because I know you do need to taste. So we're going to make something truly delicious. Will you help us out in the kitchen, please? I think I need your skills.
Yes.
Yes.
And you will get a taste test afterwards, I promise you. Less sugar, high in fiber, and packed with 33 nutrients. That's how you want to start your day. Future Life Kids Cereal is definitely a fantastic breakfast option. But don't go anywhere because, yes, after the break, we are all heading over to the kitchen where Bianca's going to show us how to make some delicious Future Life Kids Cereal Rocky No-Bake cookies. I probably should have started with that one.
I'm getting mine out on the morning light. I feel the need to celebrate it, change it, craving new imagination brewing in my mind. I'm getting mine
Oh, thank you, G-Man. Well, listen, we asked you this morning on social media, very interesting question. We asked you to fill in the blank. If you ever broke a Guinness World Record, it would probably be for blank. Share your comments with us. We also asked you for your voice notes, but let's see what you had to say.
Yeah, Jeremy Kahnemeyer says, World Athletics 800-meter champion.
Oh, wow.
I'll see you on the track for your training then.
Mfu Lazana says it would be for singing.
Oh, nice. I'd love to hear your voice. We've got Muniba Ismail says, talking non-stop. There's a couple peeps out here, I think, that could actually challenge you on that, right?
Yeah.
Don't let G get in the game. He'll take you out.
Gwyneth is also saying that, definitely for talking.
And then we got Emerentia says, as ek ryk was, so dit wees vir die meesterkinders.
Meesterkinders.
Die meesterkinders. Ek sou 2 rugby spanne en 'n tennisspan gehad het. Ooh, okay, very nice. Tessima off it course there as well. Very nice stuff. Josephine Bigstone coming through.
For best
dress. That's cool. You gotta share some pictures here, Josephine. She had the inspiration on that dress for us, and I want to know how it's gonna break a record.
And if you had to have break a Guinness World Record?
Probably losing the most times to Zoe on live TV. I think it's official. I figured that one. I've already got the record.
I love how Tamlin completed the sentence saying blowing bubbles with bubblegum.
Wow, I know. I actually saw a record. There's like the biggest bubble ever blown from bubblegum. So that's quite interesting. And then we got Nomokosazana Ahikosi Mukwena. I hope I got that right. It would probably be for my kindness and helping others. Oh, that's brilliant. I don't think anyone has that record yet. I love that. That's my new goal, actually. I want to challenge you to that one. So what would yours be, actually, by the way?
I would love to break this record, to have the most black cats under one roof.
Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. Every month, it seems like she's adding another number to it. Well, listen, we're going to add more to your Feel Good Breakfast show right now. Something for the kids, yes. It's a no-bake Rocky cereal type of thing. It's delicious. That's all I know. And we're heading to the kitchen for that one.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, Raul, maybe you need some Tuesday motivation. We'll be bringing that for you on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
I'm getting mine out on the morning light. I feel the need to celebrate it, change it, craving you, imagination brewing in my mind. I'm getting mine. It's my Feel Good Breakfast show.
We are back in the kitchen and once again joined by Bianca Tromp, a registered dietitian from Future Life. And she is going to show us how to make Future Life kids cereal Rocky no-bake cookies. And we've got two sous chefs joining us this morning who might be head chefs pretty soon. They will also double up as our official taste testers. And we've got 6-year-old Precious and 10-year-old Lutendo. Guys, thank you so much for agreeing to do the hard work. But I know you get your rewards. Lutendo, have you spent much time in the kitchen? Are you a good baker, a bad baker? How do you feel?
Okay, I guess.
Okay, we'll build on those skills today. Precious, are you a better baker than your brother?
Yes, I help my mom in the kitchen.
Oh, you see, she's got the skills. We'll get there, buddy. We'll get there. Bianca, you're going to help us create something truly delicious because they look absolutely exquisite. Where do we begin?
So what's really nice about this recipe is that it's so easy. So definitely, even if you think you don't have enough kitchen skills, you can join in. What you're going to need is 4 cups of the chocolate flavor, the Buddy the Bear flavor of our kids' cereal. Then you're also going to need a cup of crushed pretzels. And then this is half a cup of coconut oil. So that's all you need. So let's measure out the ingredients.
Okay, and then, yeah, I think, Precious, you'll have to do the official initial mixing. I mean, this is ticking a lot of boxes for me. From a textural element, great, because it needs to have a good mouthfeel. You want the crunch.
Nice and crunchy.
This would make quite a nice lunchbox kind of treat, but I would imagine it's going to melt very quickly.
Yes.
So if you're going to send it in a cooler box. I would recommend.
Also a nice, like, weekend treat.
And what I like about this is you get invested in the outcome and you enjoy it so much more. Hey, okay, so you're going to be put to work here. So what do we add to our chocolate custard?
So Lutendo, would you add the pretzels for us, please?
Okay, so you can put the whole thing in.
Yeah, you can
just
take
go.
the
Don't even
whole-
hold back.
Yes.
Yeah,
take
don't
the
hold
whole
back in this
container.
kitchen. Go for it.
Well
The whole
done.
thing?
Yeah,
Everything.
just do it, man. You're allowed.
Perfect.
Woohoo, yay.
And then,
Precious, can
will
you do
you
some
please
mixing?
add the coconut oil for us?
Ooh.
All of it.
You can pour all of that. Coconut oil is great. It's a healthy fat. It's got so many other healthy properties. It really is like one of those superfood kind of oils.
Will you help me to mix, Lutendo?
Okay, Lieutenant, put some elbow grease in there. And this, you really can't go wrong. If anything, you could probably add a few more little things here and there. If there's stuff that you know you enjoy. I'm thinking some added nuts in there. But the joy of it here, because you've got everything layered into the Future Life Kids cereal already, you know your baseline is set.
Yes, so you can add like dried fruit. I'm thinking like cranberries would maybe be nice in here as well.
I just want to take a giant spoon and eat it like that, as is. Absolutely beautiful. That looks like a good mix. Precious, what do you think? Hey, yeah, do you think we've fully mixed through? Lutendo, do you think we've got our coconut oil everywhere? We've coated everything? I think so.
Okay, so the next step,
Right.
put the baking sheet here in front of both of you.
Okay.
And we're going to take a spoonful and put it in the little mold. So,
So this
Lutendo, maybe you can start and then Precious can also do some.
You can do one. Okay, so yeah, the skill is, yeah, you're going to take this up and you're going to see if you can keep it all in there. Then hold it nice and still, yeah.
Yes, perfect.
That's a lesson I'm trying to get my son to really take on board, is use the anchor hand and then use the other hand, you know? Well done.
And maybe just pat it down with a spoon. Yes.
Make it nice and firm. Yeah, I would you can even get your hands in there and squish it down, make it nice
If you want to
and
use your
tight.
thumb,
Yeah.
do you want to use your thumb? And press it down. So
You
that
want it to try and
stays
hold its shape. Ah, okay.
Let's see if you take it out, if it holds its
It
shape.
might come apart. So you want to really try and squish it in there, but that's good enough for us, man.
And Precious, do you want to try one?
Do another little filling exercise. We might need to squash it down even more. This is great. I'm not saying this is a meal replacement, but if you've got one of those long kind of a days where you know you've got busy school, then you've got a bit of a break, then busy after school, these sorts of treats make a massive difference where you can access energy easily, but the right kind of energy.
And you can meal prep it and keep it in the fridge, which is really nice.
Oh, we're testing the fine motor skills here. I absolutely love it.
Well done. Now press it down nice and hard.
I like it. So then once we've created all of our, filled our little ramekin kind of shape maker things, I don't know what the official kitchen term is, then this presumably goes into the fridge?
Exactly. It goes into the fridge and then the coconut oil will set, and that's when you get your little...
Try another one. Try pressing it down even harder. Let's see if you can get those guys to stick together. And the joy is you keep going until you get it absolutely right. I know a lot of people out there, we've got foodies who watch this show, are thinking maybe drizzle a little dark chocolate or a little something like that.
Sounds good.
If you can get them to invest in the cooking process. I mean, you're learning valuable skills about patience and things like that.
Yes. Even use your fingers to press it down.
Yeah, then press it down with your fingers.
Press
Get
it down,
right
nice.
in there. Nice. So we know that you can handle the making process. Now can you handle the tasting process? Precious, Rotendo?
Isn't it this
Because you've earned it. You have earned the right.
Do you want to taste?
Go for it. We've got a mix of a little bit of salty, a whole lot of crunch. Oh, there we go. Just going for a pretzel first. Lutendo, what do you think? I'm going to pack the rest of those and take them so I can end my fast with a proper breakfast a little bit later today. Absolutely delicious, crunchy, all the right notes. Bianca, thank you so much. I think these are going to become a staple, a lunchbox staple. Absolutely beautiful. And the best part, so easy to make, we didn't even need to bake them. You can get the kids involved and you can try these Future Life Kids Cereal Rocky No-Bake Cookies at home and have a little bit of fun with that. If you know their flavors you like and want to inject, do it. Just show us. You can get the full recipe at futurelife.com. And for a quick recap on all of the steps, as easy as it is, take a look at this.
Bespoke.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Not only is it Health Tuesday, but it's also just a beautiful day. So let's make it even more beautiful and motivate you, especially when it comes to concerns about the future.
Yeah, man, it can make you a little bit nervous. We understand that. So live through this with us. Sometimes you just need to sit down and constantly reevaluate your entire value system. Take a look.
Nice.
Have you ever thought about this? In 100 years, so like 21, 23, we will all be buried with our families and friends. Strangers will live in our homes that we worked so hard to build, and someone else will own everything we have today. Most of our possessions will be given away or thrown out and destroyed, including the car that we spent a fortune on and will probably be scrapped. Our descendants will hardly know who we are, nor will they remember us. I mean, how many of us know who our grandfather's father was? After we die, we will be remembered for a few more years, and then we're just a portrait on someone's wall. And a few decades later, our history, photos, and deeds disappear into history's oblivion. We won't even be memories. If we pause one day to analyse these questions, perhaps we would understand how pointless it is for us to worry about 95% of the things that consume our minds daily. If we could only think about this, surely our approaches, our thoughts would change and we would do things differently. Perhaps we would feel more free to enjoy ourselves and our lives that we're living. Take these thoughts into the rest of your day, this week, this year, and remember the saying, if it's not going to matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes being upset by it.
Oh, I love that. How pertinent.
Yeah, look, it was going dark. I was starting to feel like I might have needed a little bit of a cuddle there, but I absolutely love that, man. And it's not to belittle our experience, the fact that your grandkids aren't going to know who you were. It's the opposite. Savor every second that you have. In fact, if you can, set your life to the most beautiful soundtrack that you can find, plug into emotion, surround yourself with amazing, beautiful people, and you'll be okay. In fact, let's do that right now.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen. Well, joining me on the Expresso stage for one final performance is pianist Jeremy Quickfall. Jeremy, I love that. I mean, I have a love for the piano. I did my UNISA exam, grade 1, when I was younger, and
Grade 1, good.
I stopped after that, but I wish I had continued so I could have had the talent, or at least a speckle of the talent that you have. But I know that the Heroes Concert, it is the Gala event. Yes. It is taking place on Saturday, the 14th of October. Why would you say people need to support this gala and come and enjoy the beautiful music that will be shown?
Well, so I'm a teacher, and I know that the most difficult, well, no, it's impossible to teach a hungry child. We're always speaking about we have to have free education. Free education is awesome, but free education doesn't work if the child is hungry.
True.
So yes, there is beautiful music, and yes, we've prepared a program, and yes, we've been working for a very long time to prepare this exquisite program. However, the reason you should come is to feed that child so that they can learn, because that's much more important than anything else we are doing on Saturday evening.
I hear you. And if you want to go and support, it is this Saturday at the Cape Town City Hall, the 14th of October at 2 p.m. Tickets are available at quicket.com. You can purchase your tickets, and the Heroes Gala Concert, it is in aid of the Peninsula School Feeding Association. So let's make sure none of our kids go hungry to school. Jeremy, what are you performing for us today?
I'm going to play a ragtime medley with a few ragtime pieces composed by Billy Joel and Scott Joplin.
Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jeremy Quickfall on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Another feel-good production.